All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the VOD, we are putting something together because there has been some. I'll describe it from my perspective, Fell Runner, even if you don't agree with my perspective. Um, there has been some harsh feelings in the community amongst Dooby, who has been a Twitch and YouTube political participant for a very long time. I started debating him all the way back in probably late 2019, summer of 2020. We met on the Prime Kai Reverie Roundtable, a Twitch and YouTube political show that I still do on occasion. Matter of fact, I'm going to be doing that show again on Monday. So Doobie and I have long history. Doobie has been a suspicious character. I've analogized him to Varys from Game of Thrones, where I don't think that he's ever done anything necessarily malicious to me, or that I think has been beyond the pale and evil. But that doesn't mean that people aren't willing and able to criticize his behavior in reference to some of his machinations. And I think even if you ask Doobie yourself, he'll say, "Oh yeah, I've done some secret squirrel Twitch and YouTube political bullshit in the
I'll be
past."
right back. Keep talking.
Okay, I'll keep going. But yeah, that's kind of my position. And then Doobie, uh, I would say, has been a kind of like hang out in the chat in the cog. Obviously, he oils. But I don't feel like he's particularly influenced my opinions in reference to Israel Palestine or in reference to Destiny. Matter of fact, I would say all of my criticisms of Destiny can be made without a single snarker piece of information. So I think the characterization that Dewey just came in and started throwing money around, and that's why I hate Steven now. I think that the only way that you can make that argument was from a position of ignorance. However, there are people who are uncomfortable with Doobie's presence in the community, since he does kind of hang out with what people are derisively referring to as snarkers. Fellrunner, my chief mod on Discord and one of my mods on YouTube, has been one of the people who has been hostile to Doobie's presence in the community and in chat. And it seems that that hostility has reached, I don't want to say like a boiling point. I don't think you guys are on the verge of like actually killing each other or anything. But it's reached a point where we at least need to hash out our differences so we understand our differences. I'm going to be trying to talk as little as possible. I think the main reason why I'm here is just to make sure that if people start screaming, calling each other slurs, and speaking over each other, that I can interrupt that flow and try to make the conversation communicable again. So Doobie, did you have anything that you wanted to say before Fellrunner starts asking you questions and maybe pressing you on your answers?
No, I'm ready for whatever. You
Okay.
ask me whatever you want.
Well, chat, I'm going to try to start up a video game in the background. If it does end up being too much of a chug for my computer, I think this content is more important than my video game happiness. We'll see how that works. But Vallorfax, aka Fellrunner, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you very much. I apologize if I suddenly drop. I might get a phone call from my family. They've been calling me while I'm out. All right, so Doobie, just first, I just want to start kind of from the beginning of the timeline where you started managing the politics Discord, how you got ownership, and when you became like the architect of how it should go, or whatever you want to describe it as.
So I think we took over the server in 2017, I think. In fact, some of the videos I posted yesterday in the chat where you're asking for like our old AMAs and shit, like I think in one of them, you can actually hear the original owner of the politics server. Though when he owned the server, it was called March Against Trump. And it was like a explicitly like lefty server. I stumbled onto it through He Will Not Divide Us, like Shia LaBeouf, that whole thing where they were doing where they're like staring at a camera and just chanting He Will Not Divide Us constantly. I used to watch that like while I was in my office. I just have it up on the screen because I thought it was fucking hilarious and interesting. And one day I noticed that they were like responding to people. They seemed to be like looking at something on their phone and then talking to people on the camera. It's like, oh, there's like a chat room somewhere, right, where they're talking to people. So I wanted to see that because I wanted to communicate with them too, because I thought it was pretty fucking weird and funny. So I looked for one, and I found like this really janky website with like Pepe all over it. And then in there, I found a link to a Discord server, and it happened to be the poll Discord server, like not politics, like the 4chan poll server.
Mhm.
Hung out in there for a little bit, trolling the Nazis, because they were just like they would like fuck with there's like a place thing, like a Reddit place thing where you like paint one dot at a time or whatever on this big thing. So I hung out there for a bit, trolling them, fucking up the swastikas, and then they were raiding a server called March Against Trump. And then I would join in with the raid. I found, oh, this is an actual like political server. People are debating, so I sit there. That's how I got to politics or that server. Then what I would do early on is I would join a voice channel and just take on whatever the opposite of whatever the dominant position was, or sometimes just come up with like I'd be a Muslim one day, like just fully arguing from an Islamic perspective against Christianity, against like Western values, whatever the fuck. And this would make people mad, and I'd get lots of people on the voice channel to argue with me. And the next day I was a Catholic, and the next day I was a fucking Buddhist, right? And the next day I was an atheist, right? Like a fucking Reddit atheist. And I would do this all the time. Like this is what I would do on the side while I was working, like grinding away on doing paperwork and shit, just to like entertain myself. The owner of the server, a guy called That Sass, I think noticed that I was able to pull in big crowds into the voice channels because people fucking hated me from all sides. So he asked me to be a mod. Right. So I was like, sure, whatever. That's how I became a mod. And then from there, it just kind of, over time, we started doing AMAs. I started hosting those AMAs. I became like eventually his like right hand man kind of person, right? For a bit. And early on, a lot of what I would do is just uh, build engagement in the community. That was kind of my job, which was fun for me. I got to talk to lots of interesting people, and that's about it. Eventually, the server got like I think it got to like 15,000 people.
Can I interrupt briefly?
Sure.
I do have about, I would say, an hour and 45 minutes. I do have my kids today. So while I am happy to sit here and listen to the lore of the server, I'm assuming that these questions are pointed in a certain direction, like, did you do something unethical in order to become, one of the owners of the server? So as long as we can kind of like,
I would
push,
shorten it. I'll be trying to be more concise.
push to the meat,
like condense
I would
the lore.
appreciate it.
Yeah. So TLDR, eventually the owner, that Sass, he just realized he's just an alcoholic piece of shit, would treat people really badly, would ban 15, 20 people at a time just for disagreeing with him, speaking over him, yada yada. And we just felt like he was very abusive to the community. So myself and the other admins, we decided to kick him out because we just felt like he was a toxic person, and he's basically using the server as like an ego boost for himself. So what we did was we mass banned I think 12,000 members, pushed them to push out invites to the backup server, and then I think we got it down to like 3,000 users before he woke up and stopped us. And so then we had 2,000 on the backup server, which we controlled. And then he had 3,000 on the main server, and then we had Discord wars for a bit, trying to sabotage each other for like back and forth, like 6 months or something. And eventually his server was deleted, and then we merged the communities back together, and now we have politics. That's how
Alright,
that's how
great.
I got in charge or took control. And to be clear, like I said, I took control. Like there's really the founder team on the server, we're like equals, right? And there are three of us left from the original like founder team. And so it's not really that I run the server; it's we run the server. I just happen to be like the PR guy, basically the most public.
Yeah, I feel like you're the face. I feel like you're the
Yeah.
owner because people are calling you the pedophile, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
I'm the
not
main
fair
pedophile, but actually
exactly
there's
if it
four of
goes
us.
3 other people, but that's fine. All right, so this is where I want to go next with this, right? Can you just walk me through all of your public-facing alts from the beginning of your time with as the representative of the politics server all the way through up to now? The ones I don't need the secret ones, and I don't need the ones that no one knows about. I just need the ones that obviously everybody knows about. And then I want you to explain like what happened with those alts and why you had to switch to a new alt.
Okay, so when you say alt, do you mean like my like main accounts, or do you mean like so when you say alt account, I
This
think
is
that
what
is
I would
Ezekiel
use.
account that I have, right?
I
That
would,
everybody,
yeah,
every like regular on the server knows that
sure.
Ezekiel is my alt account, because I
That's
just
fine. I don't care
lurk
about
in
it.
the channels
Well,
to spawn new members
That
with that one. Basically, make
this
sure
is
they're
what
not
I
right.
want to focus on. My question is asked more like, what are your alts and why were they disabled or banned? And why did you have to make a new one? I don't care if you have a bunch, like you have 500 other alts that you just use for fun. I want the
Yeah, I
ones
understand.
that were a
So
problem,
I think
and
so,
specifically the ones that are like related to your politics server.
yeah. Yeah, I think so. Just because, so when you're saying alt, I think you mean like Discord accounts, like other Dooby accounts, basically.
Only
Um,
Discord. I'm only talking about your Discord server right now.
yeah, I know, but other Dooby accounts on Discord, basically, is what you're saying. Like the account before this one was disabled by Discord, for example. You're talking about like that account, and the account before that was
Yeah,
disabled.
and so include that, but walk me from the earliest one through that you're comfortable giving me. I don't. You don't have to give me secret ones.
No, it's totally fine. So I think the oldest one that was disabled was because of the politically provoked Discord server. I think Connor probably remembers this lady, Britt, was politically provoked. So she was trying to build up a Discord server. She knew me from like panels and shit, and we had like a kind of like a yeah. Actually, when this whole shit happened with Destiny, I thought that was a Brit you were talking about. So that was like very discombobulated. But yeah, so she asked me to help her set up a Discord server. Right, so like sure, whatever. So I asked Square Pusher, who's one of the other founders on Politics, to come over with me, join their server, and just set up the bots, word filters, mod perms, like commands, shit like this. Um, so we were doing that, and we both had admin perms to set this up for her. And then like the next morning, I wake up and my account's been disabled, right? For like I think it was like hate speech or some shit like this, right? And I was like, well, what the fuck? So then I figure out that that server had actually been um nuked by Discord like 3 or 4 times before, and she had just remade it with the same name, or the same fucking like same name on the owner account and everything. So they just got reported again, and Discord banned it again. And because we had admin perms on the server, my account was disabled. Square Pusher's account was disabled. That's like the first one I think about that I lost. Um, so that was very annoying. But I think after that, the next one was I think it was last year, the year before. I think it might be the one that Destiny put on Twitter with the child safety thing. And I posted that. I just got the screenshot. So I don't know if Connor's going to show the screenshot. But so the context of the child safety ban, the first child, there's like 2 child safety bans actually. First one is somebody asked me if I thought like a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old dating was okay. And I said, it's okay age-wise, I guess, but I don't think kids should be dating at that age. That was my answer.
Was that a mass report, or is that like one person reported you and then they just like disabled you for that? Like,
Yes, people.
you don't have to dwell on these, but I do want a little
Yes,
more clarity on that.
I don't. The thing is, it's hard to know if there's like a mass report or just like because Discord around this time started using AI moderation for like reports, and their AI moderation or like scanning of reports is very 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 bad. It was very bad back then. It's so bad now. Like yeah, I've seen people like banned for saying that they don't like British food, right? And they get banned for like hate speech. Like it's
Is
very
this
very very bad.
is this like an admin account that you would normally use on the politics server, or is this some other
Yeah,
like mod? Okay,
yeah, no, it was my
and
main account. Yeah.
you've disputed like that whole thing. Is there some kind of like process to dispute these kinds of things?
Yeah. So basically you can what's the word I'm looking for? Appeal it. But typically Discord does not respond to those.
They just
And
leave you in the lurch.
it's very very difficult. Yeah. And we
I
like
imagine
for
that's hard.
example
Yeah.
when I lost that account owned the server, right? Is what we used to do is we would like transfer the server ownership around between the founders like sporadically,
You
or
can't have like
periodically.
4 owners. You have to
No,
like one
just be
person has
one
to
main
be the.
person.
All right,
So we
gotcha.
would just
Okay.
transfer it around as like a show of trust, basically, right? So we are all equals, we all own the server, so we just like transferred around, to whoever. So my account owned the server at the time. So when it was disabled, the server had no owner account, right? For like I think like 2 years or some shit, because we were trying to get Discord to transfer it to one of the other admin accounts, and they just wouldn't do it. So, and this happened. This went on for like 2 years. We eventually had to send them like a fucking letter in legalese to get them to transfer it over to us. Like that's how irritating it was. So, yeah. So Discord very rarely even responds to the appeals. Very rarely gives any. You get like bot responses basically when you appeal.
Got it.
So
Any other accounts besides that one?
and I follow up. So after that account, I think the next one was the I don't know. I think this was in Wix server, but it's hard for me to look up the context. But the message is literally just replace this with Destiny as one of his, or remake this with Destiny and one of his orbiters. I think I said that on Wix server. It's from like August of 2025. But I don't know the context of it, right? But that was also reported for child safety, and that account was also disabled for child safety.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And that I think was part of like
What was that account
reporting thing.
again?
I'm sorry.
The
What?
name of it? What
That was
the
another
name of
Dooby
that
account. That's another Dooby account. Yeah.
Okay. Is that the last one that was banned? And then you're on your current one?
I'm trying to think. I think there was one more. I think there's one more, but I can't remember. I'll just look for it really quick while you're talking. But yeah, basically, yeah, I think 2 for child safety, 1 for the hate speech thing from politically provoked. But the child safety thing, I think, again, is me saying that I don't think kids should be dating at those ages at 14 and 16. And the other one is me saying something about Destiny and an orbiter, which was reported for child safety. And I think that was like a mass report kind of thing. Because I've also had like a warnings put on my account for like in the same period for like a copyright infringement, which is really funny. So I think in this period, that like the UGGers were just reporting my account a ton. Because those I was able to appeal and it was just like removed very, very quickly.
Is there like a non-doxable way for you to show that like that was the reason that they gave you on the whatever email or something you got? Okay, cool. I'm not looking at anything. Okay, cool.
No, I'll pull it up. I'll put it in the group chat for you.
Thank you. Okay. Let's move on. So the next thing I want to say, like I understand there's controversy with that PDF document and all that crap. Like if you don't want to talk about that, I'm happy to move on. I have other
We can talk
questions that
about
don't
literally whatever.
rely on that. Okay, so with that document, just talk to me about that one. Like why did that document get created? Like what the heck were these people even trying to do? That was a crazy thing that I read about and I just found out about it. And I was like, whoa, this is nuts. Like, what was that situation?
But so to be clear, like which PDF document are you talking about? Just to be
The
clear.
PDF document I'm talking about is Politics: A Closer Look, and it was created by the Hans guy.
Yeah, so Hans was former admin on Politics.
Mhm.
No, he was just an admin on Politics. And he'd been banned before for trying to take down the server, and then he was banned for like 6 months. And we gave him another shot. He said, "Oh, I changed. I'm sorry, blah blah." So we let him back on, and this was like a multi-year fucking plot that he had to try to get the server either taken down or transferred over to him. So he went into mod chat and he documented like mods making an edgy joke, took screenshots out of context, right? And then he compiled all these into a PDF document that he was sure will get the server either deleted or transferred over to him. So of course I put in the announcements when we got it because I thought it was really funny, so everybody could see it. And he was trying to reach out to Discord directly. He actually got in touch with them. I think some dude who was like their CFO or some shit over LinkedIn, got a response, and then that went nowhere because the document was ridiculous. And then, eventually the beans were spilled. One of the people involved got into some relationship drama, and through that, they ratted out their girlfriend or whatever who was involved in helping put this document together. And then we pieced it all together, and we found, oh shit, there's like a group of people who've been plotting to take down the server or get it transferred over to them for the last like year and a half. So that's what that was. And then we had like an inquisition where we like were trying to get people. We already knew who was involved. We're trying to get them to come forward themselves so we could like give them some mercy. And ones who didn't come forward themselves, we banned.
Can you be a little more clear on the motivation? Like, what does this guy even want? He just wants to be in charge?
No, he's very, very lefty. Like he doesn't like that we allow transphobic people, homophobic people. He's very, very, very lefty. Like he's one of those people that wants. He's very like I guess woke is what you'd call it. He's like a woke squad kind of person.
I got to start moving, so it's gonna my sound is gonna be all annoying. Sorry. Okay, so do you mind if I ask you questions about the document?
No, go for it.
I think you already said no. Okay. So, do you have a way, if you recall, which pictures are fake?
I don't think any of them are fake, if I remember correctly. I think there's some that are taken out of context.
I asked because I saw that you had posted an announcement in your Discord, basically kind of outlining what happened, and you said like, here's the document, and some of these screenshots are fake, some of them are out of context, and some of them are just edgy jokes that people didn't,
I can pull it up again really quickly because I don't. This is like what, a year or two ago, so I don't remember everything that was in there.
2 years. It's a while ago.
Obviously, the time I was more aware of what was in there, so I can pull it up really quickly and just look through.
Okay, I have like really just one specific focus on the document.
Sure.
Let me just get my notes. Okay, so
We only saved on my PC. Okay, what's up?
I'm looking for it. Oh, okay. You already answered this for me. So this guy was I'm sorry. This guy's a lefty, right? You're saying that, and then he didn't like certain people in your Discord, and you described them as undesirables. And I would like you to clarify specifically who he didn't like and why he didn't want them in your Discord.
He didn't want fascists on the server. He didn't want white nationalists on the server. He didn't want transphobic people. Conservatives in general who don't like trans things. Let me speak. Like this kind of person. This guy would hang out in the LGBT channel that we have on the server, or had at the time. And he's the kind of person who advocates for sex change surgery for children. Like he's that far left, right? So yeah, he just did not like. I think that especially is something that really bothered him because he'd hang out with those kind of people all day, and he really cares about the whole trans rights shit. So he didn't we had people on the server who speak out against that, criticize that, yada yada.
It's okay for me to describe this as factions, right? He has one faction. You guys had another faction. Okay. All right. So, do you dispute the accounting as told in the document in regard to some of your team being associated with peripheral discords that were shut down for TOS violations?
No, I would be very surprised if people weren't. Or there are. Yeah, of course. I don't dispute that at all.
All right, so I would follow up on that, and I'm looking at note while I'm talking to. So that's all weird. So you're not concerned about having staff on your Discord? Like they're involved with Discords that have been shut down for TOS violations. Your feed doesn't matter. It's like whatever. It's kind of like Wild West
doesn't matter.
situation. Like I would like you to kind of elaborate on why it's okay to you. And I'm walking, so I'm not crying. Don't accuse me of crying. I'm out of breath because I'm walking.
It's okay. So no, it's not that. I mean, I just don't really care about them being edgy on some other server that got shut down. Now, obviously, if they're on some server that was disabled for CSAM or revenge porn or something, I'd care about that. But if they're just edgy on the internet as young people, I don't really give a fuck about that, to be honest with you.
Will you look at those imager links on that specific accusation in the document if you're able to quickly get to it? Because there's a series of conversations.
Real quick, while I'm I have no problems. I'm happy we're adults and we're making it through. Your line of questioning. I have no problems getting through it. But I guess what is the takeaway that you want the audience to walk away from? Because obviously, so far what it seems like is Dooby got the politics server under less than ethical means, but he would probably stand by that action.
I would do it again.
And then, there are shady and shitty people who are in the Discord server. I think we've all known that for 5 or 6 years. And then also there's adjacent people who have accused, mods and admins of the politics Discord server of malfeasance. But that doesn't feel, it just doesn't feel specific enough for me to be like, oh, Dooby's a bad guy. We should all I'm not saying that's necessarily the case you're trying to make, but I think there are plenty of people in the community who do want that case made of Dooby's a bad guy and we shouldn't even tolerate him hanging around us anymore. And I don't think any of those statements so far
I
have
mean,
been
this is
things.
probably the best way to. I think this is the best way to get to. And I agree with you.
I'm going to
I'm not
mute
saying we're going
myself,
to
but I
be
just
there.
want to tell you that's
My
my
intent
concern as a
is
listener.
to. All right. Well, I'm not on question 4, so I would say Dooby's got a few more.
You're breaking up.
Questions to answer, and I'm going to move to a different area. Am I?
Is he breaking up or am I breaking up? Yeah, I think you broke up, Mr. Fuck.
All right, I had to switch. Give me 5 seconds to get to a different spot.
Sure. And I just lay out more why I don't care while you're doing that. So yeah, again, I believe in second chances, fourth chances, fifth chances even. So if people have been bad in other spaces, right, in ways that I don't think are too terrible, i.e. they're not sharing revenge porn, they're not swatting people, they're not involved in like pedophile shit, I have no issue with them being on the server, right? And giving them another chance, as long as they're not doing that kind of shit or whatever got them banned, as long as they're not doing that on the server. So I've had many people on the server over the years who started out as like full-on Nazis, who are now fucking like center-left people, right? Very like not racist at all, not Nazis at all, right? So like I think people deserve time to go through their edgy phase and then change, grow up a bit. I think it's totally normal, totally fine.
Okay. So I just want to say, like, you do have the accusation of having the minors on the server. Okay. You do have the accusation of like being involved to some degree, whether it's as an adversary or not, with extremist groups. And you're telling me that you have admin on staff that have had 3 to 5 chances to screw up, that are involved with TOS violations, and you're okay with them being involved, and not just involved, but in charge of the minors in your community, and you're okay with that?
Yes. And to be clear, the kind of TOS violations we're talking about are like transphobic memes. Like one of the things in
when
the
I
injury
look at the conversation on the inside the document, what I see is that they describe the server that got nuked as having too many Nazi and N-word memes. And the mods in that conversation further down say, we need to make sure that we are not doing that in this server. And I'm not quoting that, I'm paraphrasing. They talk about it in those screenshots. They're saying, we need to not do what that server did. Now, is that a fair characterization of the way that you guys would like moderate your server to make sure that you would not hit the same violations of these peripheral
I don't care if
servers?
people post Nazi shit in other
went too
spaces
far
at all. Yeah, hold on. So to be clear, if
And
they're full-on open Nazis in
that's
other
their
communities,
risk.
I don't care at all. I would allow full-on
Roger
open
that.
Nazis in politics if I could.
Yeah, perfect.
Even on the mod team, if I could.
All right. And you've said this before, so I'm just going for it. All right. So is it standard practice for moderators, administrators, owners who have been banned by Discord for a TOS violation to bypass those restrictions through an alt account in order to resume management of the community they were previously banned from?
They wouldn't be banned from politics, they'd be banned from Discord. So yeah, so it's very normal for
platform level ban.
Account. Yeah, somebody have their account disabled and then just make another account. Yeah.
Okay, so do you acknowledge that that practice explicitly violates the platform terms of service?
Sure.
You guys don't care?
Yeah, the current so the old terms of service used to be like it used to say explicitly that you could just remake an account and they're okay with that. Now they've changed it, I think, in the last like year or so. But I just don't give a fuck, to be honest with you. I think as we went over earlier, most of the bans of the accounts being disabled and whatnot, a lot of this is for bullshit. Because they use AI moderation. They fired a lot of their trust and safety people, and they use AI fucking bots to go through reports, and so people get their accounts disabled for ridiculous things. So I just don't care. And again, if they're saying like crazy Nazi shit in other space, I also don't care. Right? Like, all right.
So you don't care. You don't care about guideline 19. Do not evade permanent Discord level enforcement actions. This includes creating new or using existing accounts or communities after being removed for violating our platform rules. You don't care about that rule.
Don't care.
Got you. Thank you. Next question. All right, I want to move into another new section. Let's talk about your mod performance and the KPIs for those mods. Okay. What are the key performance indicators that your leadership team tracks to measure moderation responsiveness? Like, what is your target versus actual time to action KPI?
That's a crazy thing to ask me.
Hold on, real quick.
Can I clarify? This is not a crazy thing to ask a Discord owner of a 100,000 or higher Discord.
I would like to interject something real quick because I think that basically, like, I know you're saying that it's not the trial of Dooby, you know, and that's bad framing. Like, it's basically a potentially hostile interview documenting, you know, documentable behavior. That way, you know, we have like a record. But I just want to point out, I am ban evading on Twitter, like right now. Like Neo Counter Connor is a ban. Like, I am in violation of terms of service for ban evasion, and I'm pretty sure that like all of my bans have been for the same thing. It's been
I appreciate that perspective.
It's been for telling people to kill themselves.
That's fine. I appreciate that perspective, Connor. Like, again, like, we're just getting this on the record for Dooby. That's it. Everyone can judge for themselves.
Okay.
Right. So you said it was ridiculous for me to ask you about that KPI. If it's easier, you don't need to tell me how dumb and ridiculous my questions are. Just tell me no, and then we can move quickly to the next one. So what is your time to target versus actual, I'm sorry, your target versus actual time to action KPI? That would be like how long to, you don't have an ability to measure when something is posted in the chat, and then how long it's in the chat, and then how long it takes for a mod to see that and respond to it. You don't have a
we have the ability to do that. It's just not something we've ever cared to track. I think that's a silly thing to track. I think
you have the ability to track.
If we're paying people to be mods and it was their job to sit at the desk and stare at the screen all day, but given these are volunteers,
you may consider it. You do have a minor community. You may want to take more care with your team.
We have no guarantee that they're ever going to be like, we have over 100 moderators on the server at any given time, various levels of mod firms. We cannot force them to moderate, right? So we try to make sure that we have mods available at different time zones, different times of the day.
Got it.
Different sections of the community. But, you know, sometimes people are going to miss things. It's not, you know, a big deal. That's
they're humans. I get it. Right, humans. Okay, so I have other KPI questions. If you're saying you have zero reporting at all on your mods, you do not track their KPIs, you have no dashboard for any stats, you have no actual,
you're going too far now.
That's okay. So let me just move through my KPIs. Let me go through. Let me ask the KPIs, because that way they'll fit into my questions. And if you do track it, it'll match the question, right? So what KPI would you say that you guys use to evaluate the error rate of your team? Like when they are approving things that a higher level mod would actually correct them on and say, this is actually something that we need to like moderate.
Yeah, we have logs for that. So if we feel like
you have logs, or do you have KPIs for that, or do you just have the logs?
We don't have KPIs.
So you're not. That's what I'm saying. These are all talking about tracking your mod performance.
I understand, but we do track mod performance. Like I said, we have a pretty big mod team. There are many checks and balances all the way up the chain, and we have different people, different levels of responsibility for ensuring that the mods beneath them are following the rules or enforcing the rules correctly, etc. And we track all of that.
But like, do you track it with a dashboard? Do you track it with reporting? No. How do you track this?
It's not a dashboard. We have a logging channel where, let's say, a mod allows something that we don't think should be allowed. They're spoken to. It's documented. Screenshots. The message link is saved.
Is there a reporting process for this, or is this ad hoc? This is ad hoc.
And if, please, 1 second. And if there's like we notice a pattern of this person consistently violating the rules, not enforcing rules that we want to enforce, etc. Then we will demod them, right? We'll have a couple talks with them. If they don't get on board, we're going to demod them. Like that's odd.
Okay, I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to be clear here. You don't actively track stats. You don't have reporting. You have the ability to check the logs, and in an ad hoc fashion, your team goes through and will check these logs. And if they notice something, they will act on it, right?
Actually, so typically what happens is one of the higher mods will notice something, or I guess report it to mod mail. Like maybe like a user sees something in chat. It's like, hey, this is in chat, and this mod isn't deleting it. They'll report it to mod mail, and then that's looked into, and the mod's spoken to, and we go through their justification for deleting it or not deleting it, and then we make a decision. So yeah.
But I wouldn't be able to say like, can you give me your monthly or your quarterly on those actions and tell me what the stats were? Like you would have to go and actually look at the stuff and then build out a report. And I have a week for it, right? Okay. So you're not tracking and reporting, or you're not you're not tracking and you're not getting reports of the stats of mods, but your team is ad hoc monitoring the mods. Roger.
I mean, we have a we monitor their moderation actions. Like we have the ability to pull up individual moderation actions, like the number of.
Well, let me ask you this. I have one here.
Right?
Let me ask you this. Okay. How do you measure? Wait, no, I've just skipped ahead. All right. Given that your server has active users playing child-centric platforms like Roblox for like over 42 continuous hours in one example, and they're participating at the same time in that conversation where they're saying that they're like, I can see on their profile that they are streaming Roblox right now. They're also like talking about like sex jokes and they're flirting with some of the other users. And I'm also seeing like, obviously the whole underage user base that's in that time is in there. Like, do you have KPIs that track how often people are playing Roblox? And do you guys do anything about connecting that to their behavior in chat? And do you moderate based on those stats? So you don't look for those stats.
We don't track the video games people play. But I think
you yourself told me how dangerous Roblox was. By the
well, yeah, I would say, like I said, if you have a kid, do not let them on Roblox ever. Like Roblox,
but your kids are fine to hang out with those. Like your server kids are fine. The kids in your server are fine to hang out with the Roblox.
Kids or other adults from going on Roblox. Like that's. Yeah,
why would you ban them from Roblox? They're on your server interacting with people. Who you would ban the person who is playing Roblox. That's where I would ask.
Literally every single person on Roblox is like a groomer. That's not what I'm saying.
I got you, but I'm contextualizing this with the sexual conversation that they're having in chat while they're playing Roblox, and there are minors in the chat at the same time, and I'm taking those three dichotomies, and I'm making a picture here, and I'm asking you to address that picture. I don't need you to sweep under it. I need you to be like, yes, it's okay for the Roblox player
to playing Roblox and like also talking on the server. Like, no, like why would no?
I have evidence of that happening just the other day. Two different Roblox.
Right, no, hold on. I'm not saying that people don't play Roblox. I'm saying why the fuck would we track people playing Roblox?
Because okay, they're on Roblox. Listen to my logic, and then Connor, I would love for you to tell me what I'm trying to say. You have someone in your chat, and they're having a sexual conversation with someone else in chat. It's flirty. It's not explicit. It's not TOS. It's perfectly within the realm of okay. And there are minors in your chat, and there are minors identified and unidentified in your chat that may or may not be interacting with this person in DMs, and they're playing Roblox for almost 47 hours straight, according to their testimony in that conversation. And I am saying, you don't see that as a red flag for your staff to keep an eye out for?
No, and actually, I was going to say this might be like a boomer thing. I know that you're not like an internet person.
I consider me a boomer. I'm not an internet person.
So it's not uncommon for people to fudge their like now playing like banner on Discord, and it might say like
why would they fudge Roblox?
Because they think it's funny.
Why would they fudge that? Why?
Because they think it's funny. So they might say that they've been playing Minecraft for like 6 days straight or something, and they haven't.
Like an edgy. It's an edgy joke.
Yeah, it's literally just a joke. Yeah, and this isn't like it's not even just that. Like they do it with other games. They do it with fucking random ass statuses that they make themselves using like not bots. It's like there's a way to like customize exactly what the thing says. You're like playing. So
okay, Connor, am I crazy about what I'm asking? Connor, am I like out of left field with this question?
So what I'm if I was to infer based off of the line of questioning, the picture that I think you're trying to paint, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that the server, if you're not tracking the mods in specific behaviors, in moderation decisions, in reference to a video game that's popular with predators, and you have a mixed age space of adults and minors, then how are you not promoting a vulnerable community that would lend itself to abusive behavior? I'm assuming that's where you're going.
This is exactly what I'm saying.
Right. So, but then I think that from my perspective, I would kind of just I would just say, Dooby, what is your rationale behind? So for instance, like my Discord, to my knowledge, is 18 plus. And the reason why is because we don't want to have any minors who might get, abused, groomed, sexted with, fucked with, whatever. We just, we don't want to take on that kind of liability. When they turn 18, they're more than welcome to come in and participate in political discourse. We also don't have a lot of sex topics. Like I actually think we're relatively anti-gooner. I don't think we post porn or anything like that. So then my question to Dooby is, why is it so important to have a mixed age space? What is the minimum age for the Discord? And I would probably start there.
Sure. So really quickly, I just want to post this in the chat so you can see what I'm talking about, folks. Like this guy, it says his account says he's been playing this game for 23 hours, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. He has absolutely not been playing that game for 24 hours. Or, yeah, almost 24 hours now. Like people just will fudge their profile sometimes because they think it's funny or whatever the fuck. Just FYI. So
Okay.
why do I think it's important to have minors? So the minimum age for the server is 13, because that's Discord's minimum age for being on the platform. So if we have like a 12-year-old, and we've had a few of them, we just ban them and tell them to come back when they're 13. And there's been talk about like pushing that to like 16, but it's difficult to even confirm that. So like I think for now we're leaving it at 13, and it's been there for years. The reason I think it's important is because I think that these kids are going to be on Discord anyway. And I don't think it's realistic to think that we, with a community as large as we have, and pushing this community out to people in the way that we do, like we used to do a ton of AMAs. We haven't done them much in the last year just because I've been way too busy to do the networking I used to do. But if you're doing a ton of AMAs with big content creators and politicians and religious figures and whatnot, it's just totally unrealistic to think that you're going to be able to keep all the minors off. It just makes more sense to me. I understand that these people are going to be on Discord anyway. That a lot of these kids, typically in high school, and they have an interest in politics, they have an interest in debate, they have an interest in religion, or they just want to hang out and make friends on the internet. I think it's totally normal to have them in the space. This is not like an NSFW space. We don't allow people to post porn. We don't allow people aren't getting naked on cam and shit like this. I think it's totally normal to have them in the community. And it makes a lot more sense to me to punish the people who would target them rather than punish them by kicking them out of the space. Because I think what happens typically in those cases is they will move to some other political server that's less well moderated, less careful about less careful about like what minors are saying, what minors are doing, what minors are posting, allowing them to get on camera and shit like that. And they might be harmed there, right? So to me, it just makes more sense to me if they're going to be on in this space anyway, or on Discord anyway, looking for these kind of servers, might as well have them in ours so that we can try to make sure that they aren't harmed.
Roger that. Connor, talk to him for 2 minutes.
So
I was just gonna say I'm still playing the game or whatever, but I guess I understand objecting to it. I understand saying I think that's dumb or reckless or something bad's gonna happen or something like that. But that's not really the kind of criticisms that I've seen levied at Dooby in the chat, in the Discord, in whatever, or DGG. What I've seen instead is the insinuation that he is creating a hostile space specifically so predators can predate on vulnerable kids, and then he can, collate and inventory endless amounts of child pornography that he claims he's reporting to law enforcement, but actually he's maintaining for a personal inventory of child sex abuse material. So that's where for me it's like, are we arguing that he's being reckless with his moderation in reference to the Twitch and YouTube political space? Are we arguing that he's a secret predator? Like, are we arguing that he's a enabler of predators? What's the argument?
My particular, like, personal judgment is that Dooby has an unsafe for minors Discord, and that he advertises it as a family kind of friendly Discord, I would argue, on particular specific occasions. So that's where I'm coming from. I am not trying to nail Dooby on any kind of outlandish like thing. It was very realistic and very grounded in the realities of running a 100,000 or higher person Discord.
Yeah, I think that it's so I don't think it's true that I advertise as like a family friendly server. It is true that we don't allow, it's not an NSFW server, right? So we're not allowing people to post porn. We aren't allowing people to post nudes. We don't let people get naked on camera in the voice channels. And the reason we have the minor roles is so that we can make sure, one, people know who the kids are, so they don't know not to interact with them in inappropriate ways. But also, so that we can restrict their perms, so they're not posting pictures of themselves, so they're not getting on camera, right, in the server. Because obviously we don't want people to do that. And if people are going to have more adult-centered conversations about whatever, or they want to have a conversation they're not comfortable with having around children, they can. There's a command they can use to quickly ban them from the channel, and that's
Got it.
It's just very, very convenient.
All right, let's go. Let me move on to the next section then, right?
I have to say something really
topical. Oh yeah, go ahead, please.
So I just feel like a lot of the criticisms come from people who don't understand the platform they use. So
this is what we're here for.
No, I understand. So the other servers that kids tend to hang out on Discord are like social servers, like Chozone, like Daddy, like Dad's Cord, like that anime Soul server. So these servers are much bigger than mine, like hundreds of thousands of people, 400,000, 500,000, and far less moderated. And they allow kids to go on there and get on camera with a bunch of randoms in the room. They have fucking huge issues with grooming and pedophiles, and
these
communities are targeted by groups like 764, 098, etc. For victims, right? So
yes,
so from my perspective, if we kick them out, they're going to be on Discord anyway, and they'll likely end up in one of these communities or one of the smaller communities.
Certainly.
That is either created by or targeted by groups like 764 and 098 to sextort minors. So
I think that's entirely fair. Do you guys still allow linking to Roblox Discords on your Discord?
We don't allow advertising on the server.
You have almost 100 links to Discord servers. Some of those links are still active, and you can just find them by searching.
Wait, so you're talking about like the partner channel? Like, so we don't allow advertising without permission. So if they're,
I'm just asking you, very simple. Do you allow linking to Roblox side Discord server?
I'm sure. I don't know. We might have like there might be one in the partner channel, but it's not something we ban.
It's not a violation of your server policy to link to Roblox side servers. What about those servers you just mentioned, the ones that are like full of problems or whatever?
No, we allow people to. I think we allow partnerships with them, but I don't think we. I don't think we have a. There's like an explicit. There's like a set of rules that we have, right? So one, it can't be an 18+ server, and it can't be a server that has. I'd have to pull it up in admin chat. It can't be a server that we think is like dangerous. Like, so it can't be like, for example, an 098 server, right? Or a server.
Well, what about the servers you just mentioned? What are those servers that you just mentioned? What were those servers you just mentioned?
Like Daddy, Chillzone. I don't think we have any partnerships with them. No.
There's no partnership, so you would not be linking to them because you're not a partner.
Not that I'm aware of, but I don't handle.
And it's not. It's against.
I'm not aware of it.
It's against, like, you can't just put random links in any of the chats too, right? That's going to get modded.
No. Yeah, no, that gets, should be automatically deleted.
Cool. I'm asking because I did find all those Roblox links. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, again,
they're probably old partners.
From the Roblox, or being a Roblox server.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
The Roblox does have an issue with that. It's just, it doesn't mean that everybody on there is that, you know.
And I feel like you answered your minor, like, justification why you have the tags. Okay. Like, I would ask you why you think that it's not putting the burden of safety directly on the minor, as opposed to you shielding the minor by not allowing the conduct that would hurt the minor. Like, I would like you to maybe give me that logic.
What do you mean by that?
When you call out a minor who has been anonymous on your server as a minor and you put a tag on them, it makes them a target, and you've agreed that that does. And I'm not saying that that's how predators find their prey. I'm saying it just literally just puts a target on them. It just says, oh, this is person, is a minor. It targets them for harassment. It targets them for bullying. It targets them for estrangement from the community. I imagine I imagine a minor who's pretending to be not a minor for a while and gets outed as a minor. I imagine that hurts their friendships in that community. I'm saying you're putting a burden on the minor by highlighting them. And I'm wondering if you have logic for why that feels safer to you than hiding the minors.
Okay, but so all those things you just went through, right? So it might hurt their friendships or something. I think it's good that it might influence or impact their friendships, because if there's an adult who's been forming a friendship with somebody who they don't know is a minor, I think that adult might want to know so that they don't speak with that minor about an inappropriate thing. Right? Not even like necessarily having some kind of relationship, but even just like talking about sex or something, or making jokes that are like adult.
And you would agree that the inverse of that is absolutely true, where someone where previously was not interested would maybe be interested now that they see that this person
is possible.
Minor.
But that's,
you must admit that the logic allows for that.
Yeah, like I said, it's possible, but that's typically not what we see. Typically what we see is people will call into the server, and it's not so much about them targeting minors, it's so they just don't give a fuck that someone's a minor, is more what it is. But there have been people over the years who have specifically targeted minors. But that's just, these minors are like, it's very easy to suss out that somebody's a minor, typically.
What's the guideline for
that whole thing that happened with food shops, right? That kid was tagged on our server like 2 years ago because it was very obvious they were a minor, just when they were talking in chat. And then they went to the voice channel. It was very obvious this was a kid, so they were tagged so that people knew not to engage with them that way, right? So that's, it just makes a lot. That food shops didn't have that tag for whatever reason.
Sorry,
and,
this is incredibly relevant. So I'm number one, I'll stand by my earlier statement of like, well, I just, I don't think it's worth the risk, but I'm a different human being than Dooby. So I would just say, hey, it's not worth the risk. And if he says, well, I disagree, I think that it's important for, adolescents and teenagers to be able to form their opinions while interacting with the world. And therefore, I would rather provide as safe as a space as I can, blah, 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 blah. I don't think it's worth the risk, but whatever. That's no skin off of my ass. When it comes to the food shops thing, what's fucking crazy about this is we have DGG currently labeling Dooby a fucking pedophile for, moderating the server in a way that they don't like. Meanwhile, Food Shops, who is currently like the #1 fucking DGG dick rider fucking defender, she was fucking sexting a goddamn minor who wasn't labeled as a minor. So like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that information? If anything, I think that the minor should have been fucking labeled. That way, we could have called out Food Shops and said, oh, she doesn't have plausible deniability with this one. This minor was labeled, and she still communicated with them in a sexual way anyways. And that way you would be able to identify predators easily.
Right, and I think that's fair, and I appreciate the perspective on that. Let's try not to get bogged down in community versus community dynamics, because it's irrelevant to what we're talking about. Hang on. I just want to add a little 2 cents on this. Okay, when I am told that there's plausible deniability from a person suspected of harassing a minor, my instinct is to laugh in the fucking face of that. What the fuck does plausible deniability in a non-court of law have anything to do with moderating a community when you can look at chat logs and you can review how a person is acting and you can just say, this is inappropriate. There's minors on this server. Whether you knew this one was or not is irrelevant. There is no plausible deniability in these. And why don't you just have a harder rule on that?
Okay, so I think what you're touching on is that you think that we should ban all relationship building sexual behavior between people on the server, and I just think that's unrealistic and kind of silly. Like I said before, we've had families.
That's not necessarily what I just said.
we've
I
had-
understand that I've
No,
said
but
that,
you're
but
like-
that's not what I just said. What I just said is,
Okay.
why is there a plausible deniability clause that allows anyone to get out of trouble?
Because fairness is important in moderation. I think that if you're running a community and you expect this community to trust you, to trust your judgment, then you need to demonstrate that you're fair, that you're actually going to listen to what they say, and actually look into the
Don't
details.
have an appeals
really figure
process
out.
for disciplinary action?
Of course we do, but
Then
to
what is
avoid,
the problem with being
just
safe
really quick.
on the safe side versus here's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
let me just lay this
You
out,
have
please.
two sides of a
Please,
problem. One person says that they were a minor or whatever. The other person says, I don't believe this person was a minor. And that is the crux of what your argument just was. So what I would say is, why not just lean on the minor side and not give any leeway to the person who's been accused of harassing the minor, and simply just have
You broke up again.
and you
You're still breaking up. Okay. So while he's figuring that out, I'm just going to finish what I was saying. So I think fairness is important. It's something that we really drill into the mods on politics, right? That we do not want people to come on to the mod team and become little tyrants, right? Which happens sometimes. People get some kind of authority and they become little fucking tyrants, and they want to mute people for disagreeing with them. They want to mute people for annoying them. They want people like fucking detained for saying something about their mom or whatever the fuck. And that is not the culture that we have on the mod team. It's the idea is that if you're a mod on the server, you're going to get criticized. People are going to shit talk you because you're a mod, and this just comes with the territory. So if you can't handle that, just don't be a fucking mod. Like people are encouraged to cyberbully me on the server, talk shit about me, to spread whatever the fuck they want about me, because this is the kind of culture we have. The culture is users can shit talk about the mods all they want, and still, when these mods make decisions, we need those same users to trust that those decisions are made in good faith, that we're actually looking into all the details, and when we make a decision, it's because we think it's the best decision with all the available information.
How often are people?
If we just like knee-jerk ban somebody because there's an allegation made, that's going to ruin trust in the mod team. Right? It's because these people aren't just banned; they're labeled. So if we find that somebody's actually fucking with kids, the ban is public. The reason they're banned is public. And if we have like logs that we can post for everybody, we post them because we want these people not just banned in our space. We'll reach out to other communities to get them banned there too. We don't.
You are worried about burning your mod's ability to moderate if you enforce a harsher rule about harassment that involves minors.
Yeah. I think trust is important in the community, and I think when you start making like arbitrary decisions and banning people without any proper evidence, then yeah, you're going to ruin the trust in the community.
All right, let's move on. Your community currently automates. I'm sorry, I'm driving. Your community currently automates an automated message deletion process that I have observed. I can't tell if you are storing these messages in an alternate database or if you are permanently erasing these. But I would ask you, like, what is the administrative purpose behind the rapid deletion of the chat record? And how does it impact your ability to conduct retroactive safety audits or cooperate with platform regulators who may want to check the logs?
Everything is saved. So we have
Everything is saved.
logs for So it's cleared out because people, as we went over earlier, Discord's AI moderation is garbage, and
Yes.
people have been trying to take it on the server for a long time. So they will report messages. You can go. There's for a long time you could actually go back and edit a message that you sent to make it look like somebody's answer was like pedophilic or something, and then report that, and Discord will still ban the person. Like it was that bad for a long time. So for this reason, we clear chat logs just to avoid people getting reported for dumb shit, or people reporting the server for dumb shit, like, or even just like if the mods miss something, right? We want to get rid of that too. But
so if I could ask you to go look up the full context of any of my screenshots, and you would be able to produce the entire chat log for me because you have like an admin sort of access and Like the reason why I, at my access level, would not be able to see is I don't have the access. Is it in the same database, or is it just like moved off of the database? Like, I don't understand.
There are three. So there's one that's on the server itself, and then we have the mod mail server, which is a separate server that the mods have access to, where a lot of this stuff is logged again, and then all the mod mail tickets are logged offsite, like on a separate platform.
Mod mail, but what about the chats?
Yeah, well, no, the chats aren't logged offsite, I think, but
Chats
those are logged on the mod mail
retained in
server
the
and then on the main
Discord system.
server. Yeah,
What about
on
the
Discord.
chats? What about the actual? Yeah. That's just in the Discord.
Yeah, those
And
are logged on the Discord.
When I see that this message has been deleted, that is a misnomer. Like, what am I? I don't understand. That's not really deleted.
But there's a copy of the message that is saved in the logs, in 2 different places.
You have a backlog of messages. All right.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of things that I saw that weren't being moderated, and it concerns me the idea that you wouldn't be able to go back and audit the things that people have been saying to get the things that your automated like bots have missed and the things that your bots. Is there a system in place to just do that, comb through old records, just to make sure?
Not really. So if for example, if somebody so if you were to report something, like let's say you saw something in the chat that should have been deleted and it wasn't, you could take a screenshot of that or get the message ID and send it to mod mail. That will ping all the mods in the mod mail server, and if they get to it like even the next day or something, they're usually really fast. But if they aren't fast for whatever reason, and they get to a day later and the message is gone, they can still go pull up the message in the logs.
Okay,
So
let's say that I am on your server and I have a harassment occur to me. Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's say that I do not immediately report this harassment within 5 to 24 hours. What if I wait 48 hours and I think about it? Do I have the ability to get a record of that harassment incident without having to remember the date, the time, and the context? How do I report that to you?
And we can look up all the messages.
I have to retain that information. I can't go look that up myself.
If you're reporting harassment, I think it's important to know who harassed you. So if you just know the username.
Yes, but I would like you to acknowledge that victims do not always act rationally in the moment.
Well then, okay. Well, I don't know how would anybody would report anything if they don't even know who did the thing. Like I don't.
Right. So I'm asking you.
So even if you know, hold on. So even if you knew the word that was said, right, the specific set of words that were said, or 2 words that were said, we could look that up.
Yeah. Let me reframe this. Let me just reframe this. I can go find everything you've said to me on our Discord, and I can go complain about it. Right?
Okay.
It's there, and I can just go search for it as a basic. Like I don't need special access. I can just go say, "Oh, that's right. 2 years ago, Dooby said that to me on Discord." I cannot do that at my level of access on your Discord. I can't go and find old chat logs. I can't audit your Discord at all beyond 4 to 5 hours at a time in your live logs. I don't know what you guys were talking about 2 weeks ago. So I'm asking you, how is it that you guys are maintaining an accurate system that doesn't have harassment issues slip through the cracks or grooming issues slip through the cracks?
So like I said, so this is something that happens once in a while, right? Where somebody will say, this person's been making this comment for like 2 weeks and I told them to stop, they're not stopping, yada yada. Like insulting, like let's say somebody got raped or something and somebody's bringing that up constantly to fuck with them. If that's happening in text channels, we can of course look up that person's messages for forever, for as long as it's been on the server, and look for those specific things that were being said. We can put the pattern together. We can find the messages of the person telling them not to say that, yada yada, and then we can put it all together. Like that's not difficult to do.
I would describe it like, in my experience, and I'm not saying it's with Discord, but in my experience, I would describe it as a reactive policy. You are reacting to incidences, and you are not proactively trying to prevent those incidences from happening. So I would I'll move on to the next question. I
think it's impossible to prevent that.
Like from my observation, just from my observation in the tech channel, right? Like I see users repeatedly pushing the boundaries on what they can say and what is okay, and it's kind of edgy, and they're making jokes, and they're posting their anime pictures, and they're posting this and that, and sometimes it's too much, and I see you guys are moderating those that are too much. I see the auto mod like nailing people for some stuff, and I see some stuff just drift up the history until they're deleted, and then I don't see any record of any moderation on that. And I just want to know, like, why would you say it's okay for your minor community to swim in the same circle as the edgiest people on your Discord who are saying the edgiest things that are just under TOS and just under being modded, but you're still kind of like, I'm a boomer and I'm kind of prude, so fuck is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're saying you're protecting minors, or you're just allowing that and it's fine because I'm a prude.
I think you're.
Is that the argument?
No, I know, but I think you're not being realistic about what people engage with on it. So I don't think there's anything on our server, for example, that these kids aren't going to run into on TikTok. In fact, I think they're going to run into more. One second, please. Just let me.
I'm not asking about other platforms. No, compare yourself to other platforms.
Let me
talk about yourself.
Oh my God, just let me finish, please. So they're not going to run into. I think they're going to run into worse things on TikTok, and also other spaces, but also in high school.
Not my
If they're in school, they're gonna hear edgy jokes. They're gonna hear sexual comments. If they turn on the TV, they're gonna hear sexual comments, see sexual shit, and hear sexual jokes. Like,
yeah, I already made the joke. Like, back in our day, we just stuck them all in high school, and then that was it. That's where they learned to be shits in high school. Okay, we didn't just let them go on the internet and be all fucked up everywhere. I'm not saying there's not bad places, and I'm not saying that you're wrong.
They get the social interaction online. So yeah, a lot of those.
I'm not saying you're wrong on your logic about kids wanting to be bad and wanting to do adult things. I'm not saying that logic's wrong. I'm asking you about
I'm not even talking about like adult
your
things.
opinion
I'm
and your
about, like,
policy.
just making edgy jokes, right? Being like a little bit, making lampshade jokes about the.
That's adult. That's being adult. Yeah, that's called being an adult. Yep, making edgy jokes is being an adult. 100%. Yes, my 6-year-old can't make edgy jokes. She's not an adult.
Yeah, but a high school student would.
That's right, and it's adult behavior that they're emulating. How are we having an argument about this? Let's not argue about that. I already conceded I'm not arguing with that logic. So let's move on from that. I'm asking you about, why do you think it's okay for your users to have the edgiest, most just under TOS behaviors that I've looked at? Why is that okay for you, for the minors to be involved in that? Your argument is that it's.
I think you're maybe a little too sensitive about stuff.
That's fine. I'm trying to figure out. You're just saying that I'm a prude.
That's not even me like bashing you, right? I'm just saying I just don't think you're used to the culture.
I think it's a fair argument. I just want to be clear.
But to be clear, like, we don't allow, like, it's true that sometimes they go a little too far, right? They do test the boundaries, right? That's kind of the.
Okay.
There are users that test the boundaries all the fucking time, and sometimes you need
all
to
the time.
Back to place,
I've been looking at it for the shortest amount of time, and holy shit, it's like all the fucking time. I go look at it, and it's like, I'm just like, oh my God, what am I looking at? Like, I'm an innocent child, and it's very much traumatizing me, right? So, okay. So what I'm seeing in your chat, I'm seeing users are explicitly flagging other users as, like, doing groomer behavior, and then they're saying, hey, like, this person is a known bad guy. You guys should probably do something about that. And then I see moderators responding like, oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess he got another turn or something. And they're not even sure why this guy's in the server again. How many times can people violate your server rules and then just come back?
Almost countless times. It really depends on the context.
You can have a person accused of grooming and be known as a reputation for grooming in chat. Come back multiple times.
No, this is what I was going to say. It depends on the violation. There's certain things that we have red lines on, right? So grooming, for example.
When does the moderation happen on this? I saw this in chat, but no one responded to it.
Let me just respond, please. So grooming, for example, is a red line. Revenge porn, red line. Doxing, the way that we handle doxing is the person who's doxed decides the punishment. So if they want to ban permanently, they're banned permanently. If they want to ban for a week, they're banned for a week. It just really depends. But for things like, being too edgy in chat, right? Posting a Nazi meme and then not listening when we told them to stop, or things like this, right? Which is most of the behavior you see on the server. It's just people pushing a little too far, and then being like trying to resist authority and trying to figure out how they could be like right under the line to the point it gets irritating, and then they get banned. Those kind of people, we give them a lot of chances. We might ban them for a month, And then if they agree to behave, we'll give them a shot. They get banned again, and then maybe 2 or 3 months later they want to try again. Like, we give people a lot of chances to change their behavior, and we've seen many of these people do change their behavior over time. Sometimes they're in a bad headspace, they're going through some shit, they feel like lashing out. So, we allow people to be human sometimes and be dumbasses. But we try to be fair with people, right? But there are things we have lines about. So if somebody's a groomer and we call them doing groomer shit, they're never gonna be banned. The issue that I think you're running into is that because groomer accusations, pedophilia accusations, these kind of like accusations are like thrown around like insults on the internet. They're just thrown around fucking casually by people. We get a lot of them that are just false, right? So which is why one of the rules that we try to enforce is that if you actually legitimately believe that somebody is a groomer or is targeting kids or something, don't just spam that in chat. Take that directly to an admin or to me or to one of the founders or to ModMail with whatever evidence you have, and then we treat all those cases seriously and we look into them seriously. So
the person that I'm talking about was in the chat, and they were saying, "Someone send me whatever pictures," asking for pictures from people. Someone saying DM me and stuff.
Wait, were they targeting that at a minor?
I don't know.
Oh, well then, hold on. So you just sent somebody in chat with a bunch of other people in chat.
I'll send you the logs, and you can go and act on it. My concern
I wouldn't act on that.
is that you have a server that's dangerous for minors because you're not moderating the behavior that you have in your chat that is problematic, that would lead to people not realizing, amongst all of the flirting and edgy jokes, that hidden in there is actually someone who's being bad. And like, I saw
no, but you
these
just
things
said that somebody's being accused of being like a groomer in chat, and they were like
yes, in chat.
So like,
and the person who was being a group, the context of that conversation was, hey, that person's asking for DMs and things. Oh my God, that person is a groomer. I can't believe they're still here. Why are they still here?
Okay, but that's what I'm talking about. If they're asking for just like adults for like news or something like that.
How do you know they're adults? You don't know they're adults. They're asking for other users. That should be the way you say that. Not other adults.
So
not saying,
hold on. So if they're targeting those comments, if they're targeting those comments or the requests at minors, yeah, they'll be banned immediately.
How do you know it's at minors? You don't.
Well,
they're anonymous minors in your user base. You don't know if they're minors.
That's why it's important to tag the minor.
So my point, once again, is that's a reactive policy. You have to let the minor get hurt first. The harm has to occur before you react under your policy, as opposed to not allowing the behavior in chat, so that when abnormal behavior happens, it's very obvious and the user base feels normal and regular. What if the argument here is that the people who see that this groomer is in chat again don't feel like there's any point in reporting him again because he's back?
Hold on, but this is what I'm talking about. So you calling this person a groomer because I don't think they seriously thought that someone's going to
send them just for the sake of argument.
Please, 1 second. I'd be extremely surprised if somebody actually sent them news, right? It's it's probably just a guy making an edgy joke in chat saying, hey, girl, send me news or something.
For the sake of argument.
I wouldn't call this person a groomer, right? But you calling
for the sake of argument
is no, but hold on, because the issue is that if you were a groomer, if you were saying this to a minor in chat, then yeah, he would be banned. So for the sake of argument, if he were actually a groomer, yeah, he'd be banned. But you're calling him a groomer because he asked like.
You've avoided my point here, which was that you have to put the minor in danger, and they have to have harm occur to them before your team can respond to that situation, and you have no policies in place to prevent the escalatory behavior that leads to that.
Yeah, we cannot. So again. So we cannot.
You can. You're not. You choose not to.
No. Hold on. We can't. I don't know who's a groomer. You could be a groomer. Like I could.
No, that's not what
Connor could be a groomer. Like I have no fucking idea who's a groomer.
Well, let me reiterate my point, and then I got to run inside. We might have to do a part 2, guys.
We have no ability to do that. What we can do is make sure. 1 second. What we can do is make sure that the community is out on the lookout for these people.
Yes, but my point is that your community is not on the lookout. I have records of that. They're not reporting.
They're on the lookout. These things are.
Not everybody.
What do you mean? Okay, obviously not everybody.
Did someone report the? Did someone log to ModMail?
Let me finish one sentence, please.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
The kind of the philosophy is, the entire community should be on the lookout for these, and this is what's been normalized in the community over the years. So if there's somebody who we think is a minor, that person is brought up to the mods, and they're asked if they're a minor, and if they say yes, we give them the minor tag. if somebody is being inappropriate, even if somebody says like suck my dick, right, as like an insult to a minor,
You have to
you get
react to that.
reported
That's a reaction.
hold on, I can't keep people from saying suck my dick. Like that's
Right.
that's a
can.
ridiculous thing to ask.
You could literally make
I'm
it
not
a
going to ban
rule.
people from saying suck my dick on the internet. I'm sorry.
You could though. You're just choosing not to.
No,
Right.
but okay, but
That's it. And that's fine. I don't want to argue with about it. I just want you to definitively state, I will not enforce that kind of rule.
Just really quickly, because I think you're not being realistic, but you're also being a bit disingenuous, I think. Because you guys in the COG, and I understand this is not a minor space, so far as you know, but you also don't ID check people. You don't verify that people are adults. Right. And you guys feel totally fine making like GIMP jokes and rape jokes in the COG about raping other community members and have them be your GIMP and shit like this. You might be saying that to a minor. You have no fucking idea. So
no
like,
idea.
and you don't ban that behavior. And so it's a really silly standard that you're pushing.
That's fine. You're comparing your 100,000 user base community with like an average 10,000 users active a day to our 1,000 member community with 20 or 30 active users posting like at the slowest pace. You don't think we can't go audit our chat and discover like problems? Like my point is that if I saw the behavior of our community evolve into the most degenerate, gooner, edgelord fucking community that just can't shut the fuck up for 24 hours, I would be like, listen, we're just not going to act this way. And you can go do this on the 18 plus channel. And no minors are allowed.
Do you know that Officer Nasty is an adult? Like, do you know that for sure?
An adult? What does that have anything to do with it? Listen, again, you're trying to narrow an argument. You're trying to bring all of my stuff and narrow it back to me. And I did say that you have the opportunity to yell at me about this stuff, but I do want to finish my questions. Now, Connor, I have a problem. I have a concern. Connor, I have a concern. I am running out of time. Rapid fire here. Okay, I gotta get inside. I gotta check in with the wife, and I do want to resume. But I'm gonna need a part 2, man. I got more questions that are not resolved.
I think you guys are probably gonna have to handle it off stream. The reason.
Oh my God! No, we need a public record. It needs to be on.
Well,
can we do it again next week?
Then I'll be happy to host it again. But like, well, once again, maybe it's my fault for having a communication gap, but the criticisms in chat. The criticisms in, fucking the Discord are not, Dooby's kind of like an asshole because he has like a mixed age space and I don't approve the way that he's moderating it, and I think that it makes
certainly not.
Some people vulnerable. That's not what I hear.
Certainly not.
What I hear is like, oh, Dooby's creating a place rife for predation because he's secretly hoarding CSAM. So like, I understand that might not be your argumentation.
Some people might be saying that, but I'm not saying that, and I'm not leading that cause,
but I'm saying
and I'm not representing
there's still even a gap here though with the way that I've perceived like even your reaction and other moderators' reactions to fucking Dooby. It's like, why are we like freaking out and treating him like a fucking monster based off of the accusations that have been made so far? Like,
other people are going to treat Dooby the way they want to. If I can only clarify me and only me in particular, the way I have been treating Dooby is like he is an enemy general harboring inside our walls, and he is bringing literal artillery fire onto our walls because he's harboring inside of our walls. I think that's ridiculous.
Really quickly.
I don't care what. I'm not saying for. I don't need to. I'm just saying, by pure decree of the enemy, they're saying they are against Dooby and they are declaring war on him. Therefore, whatever his involvement is, he is an enemy player and he is inside our castle and it is bringing enemies to our castle. And that has always been my problem with Dooby.
I think
personally.
you are the castle's biggest enemy. I think that a lot of what you
do
undermines Connor's growth. However, I want to point something out.
That's fine.
Really quickly. So if you were to just look at the group chat, right? So this is in the server, right? This is anonymous chatter saying that the only justice will be if the schizo that comes to murder Dooby stops to rape his son first.
That was messed up.
Right? So like, and you reacted to that, right? With don't fed post. You didn't delete it. You didn't have it. You didn't ban him, so far as I know. So you do allow this kind of crazy shit to be said. That isn't something I'd allow on my server, to be clear. You allow people to make rape jokes about Officer Nasty. You don't know if he's an adult. So like, just be honest about the standard that you're attempting to like voice on me as if that's a reasonable standard that you don't hold for yourself.
Well,
I
I think
understand that, but my perspective will always be that I am coming from the angle that you host knowingly minors on your server, and you allow the behavior to be married between the two communities. In your
that's
community,
what I was gonna say
I find that
was
to be a problem.
that was gonna be my cog defense was gonna be, since we don't allow minors, the second like we engage in edgier, shittier, more
I'm going to need
fucked
10
up
minutes, guys.
hold on,
I'll
I'd
be
like
back
to
in 10
finish.
minutes.
I've been sitting here listening to you guys for an hour. So while we allow edgier, shittier fucking behavior, the second that we find out somebody's a minor, we would say, hey, thanks for playing, but come back when you're
Yeah,
18. Bye.
but Connor, the issue is that what Fel would say in response to that, if we're talking about my server, is that we can't know who's a minor because we don't ID verify people.
All right.
So, unfortunately, the same criticism would apply to the COG because we don't know who's a minor in that server.
Well, I guess, Fel, if you still have limited time and you want to knock out some other stuff, then knock out your stuff. But once again, it's like you gave Dooby a perma, right? You permed him off of the site, you off of chat. You put him in the snarker fucking segregation room, and then all that kind of stuff. So like, what is the, if you want to go down your line of argumentation, you can go down your line of argumentation. But what is the line of argumentation that he is like an enemy? What is he trying to do to the COG? What is he trying to do to 50 liberals and conservatarians who are critical of far lefties and far righties? What is his fucking end goal?
Nothing Machiavellian. My point only stands that he is recognized by people as an enemy, and then they attack our community because they confuse him with us. That's my
That's
point.
not
And it
that.
did
That's
happen.
not okay. When you say that, all I think about right there is fucking DGG. And no offense
Exactly.
to the remaining members of fucking DGG who aren't totally fucking retarded, but their illiteracy is not our problem.
But my point is, it became our problem when it used to not be our problem. We used to be the smoking child. We used to be above it.
But
We
you
used to be
understand,
judging
like,
them,
even if
and now we're in the mud.
Dooby wasn't here, like, let's say that Dooby wasn't the inciting incident. Let's say that Britt contacted me randomly and was like, oh, lol, I've been thinking about you recently. I just want to touch base, blah, 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 blah. And then I talked to her and Devil again and realized that they were still in contact and a bunch of crazy shit had happened since we talked in November. And then I burned the fucking bridge. You understand that DGG still would have attacked us regardless of whether or not Dooby was present.
I'm not saying that that's not true. That's not my point.
Okay.
I think both points
I just
stand.
want that to be clear.
Yep. I would say that I wonder what would have happened if Dooby was banned from your presence for the last year. But I think that's besides the point, and I don't think it's something that I'm interested in talking about tonight. I have to go. I want to come back in 10 minutes. If you guys are still here, you're still here. If you're not, I understand.
Okay.
right.
What time is it?
I'll be back.
All right.
My wife will be gone for another 3 hours, okay? So I'm afraid.
Okay. Well, North.
I know you're an old man. If I think you're like.
I know, dude. I need my sleep. Yeah. I need my beauty rest. So can I add North to this group chat and then fucking, because apparently he has a bone to pick.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Sorry. Let me set it up. Discord group. Add North.
You can just add him to this chat. You don't need to make a new one.
I'm trying.
Good God.
Wait. Add. Yeah, I think I just added him. Okay.
Yeah. It's...
All right, hold on, and then let me.
Okay, hold on. I gotta be sure.
Go back to OBS.
Yeah, your mic's very low, but we can hear it.
Hold on. I can turn it up. I think my opening begins. Give me one.
Excuse me. Grid, I do see you. I have no problems like bringing you on in general, but I do want to keep it relatively sane, so we don't have like
I don't mind talking to as many people as you want. Okay, like I have no issues.
yeah, and grid. We might. I'm probably gonna have a hard out at 1. It's currently 12:30.
I'll even hang out on the server afterwards for the voice
So
channel.
yeah.
Just
So if
see
you
how
want to
we
hang
do.
out in the server, and if you want to talk to him in the server, and then
Why?
Fellrunner is saying he still wants to publicly litigate some of Dooby's sins on stream specifically for documentation purposes. So I have a feeling we'll be doing this again, if that's the format you want to do.
Okay. Can I say my thing? I would be a little
Sure.
bit aggressive. So.
Be angry. Let it out.
Okay. You. Let's see here now. I got the screenshot right here. Who is Goldie Goldstein?
He's a mod on the server. I think it's admin now, actually.
Who
Been
is
a mod for years.
Z Jules?
Another admin.
Anime King,
He's a founder.
and then Z Jules, and then Foreskin Whisperer.
Oh, that's Yahweh. Yeah, he's a deputy admin, I think.
Okay. Do you agree with their moderation decisions?
Most of the time. We disagree, though.
Most of the
I mean, we
time.
have a pretty...
Okay.
communication
do you
on the mod
think
team is very, very, very... We encourage people to be contentious and to disagree with each other.
Do you think that there's unacceptable behavior that if they were to like allow certain types of things to happen in the server, you would take some sort of removal action against them?
Not... Anime King's a founder, so he and I are at the same level of authority in the server. But we've had to remove founders before. So yeah, if there was like a big issue with him, the rest of the founders would come together and decide to remove him. We've had to do that before with a couple of them. And same goes with the others. I mean, I know the Yahweh specifically, he's a bit of an edgier person, but so we've had lots of conversations with him about things he said, things he's allowed. But you know, we try to work with people as long as they're working with us.
Okay. Tell me, do you think flashing your penis on a video call should be perma-bannable behavior?
It depends on the context.
What context would make it acceptable in a server full of children?
So, well, not acceptable, but
No,
what do you like-
acceptable as in like you will not ban them. That is what we
Okay.
mean by acceptable here.
Okay. So when I say acceptable, I just mean that we will tell them not to do it again. We take their video perms or whatever, probably permanently. But let's say we have like custom voice channels on the server. So if you're like above the leader rank, you can just make your own voice channel, and then restrict whoever you want from coming into it. You basically have like mod perms within that voice channel. So if it's a small voice channel, like 5-6 people in it, and they're all adults, and somebody has a camera on and they do something stupid like I think we had a guy called Ziggy, who I think he put his dick in his grandma's ashes on camera in one of these small channels, right? And we did ban him for that, to be clear, because he'd done some. I think before he'd like done coke on camera once. This guy just had like a ton of issues, so we banned him for that. But there've been other cases right now where people have like flashed a boob or something in one of these small channels, and then we find out about it, and then we don't ban them. We just make sure they understand.
To be clear, this is not like people can go into the larger channels and still turn on their camera.
Yeah. So if somebody did that on a larger channel, yeah, they'd be banned. Though, to be clear, we have had cases. I think we had like 2 cases where somebody walked onto the camera fully naked and they just didn't know that the camera was on, which was very funny.
And you, so why would you ever, when there are children in your server as young as the age of 13 years old, allow this thing in your server?
Allow what thing?
Allow people to be naked on camera and not
We don't.
immediately permaban them.
So in the case that I just mentioned, where people walked onto camera and they were naked, the 2 cases that I'm referencing, they didn't know that their camera was on. That was the issue.
Okay, so I have
So-
screenshots of, and I'm sure you've seen the screenshot
So
before.
so if you're,
of
no, I
it's talking
don't.
about Ziggy.
Yeah, so it is Ziggy.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, in Ziggy's case,
flashing
banned.
his penis on camera, and your moderators and admins, I guess this is an admin chat, so your admins decided that this person should not be banned because they have good conversations in the server.
Yeah, like I said, I think if I remember the ZA thing correctly, it wasn't one of these smaller channels with like a very restricted. I think like 4 or 5 people.
Does
in
that make
or
it
something.
better?
Yeah, it does. It's better than flashing it in a
No,
large
no,
channel.
I don't think it does. I think it's a
Well,
bullshit
I don't care what
standard.
you think. I'm telling. I'm explaining our reason, our rationing. Because I wasn't involved in that decision, but I agree with the decision. So,
Well, yeah, don't
let me
distance
finish.
yourself by saying that
I'm
that
not.
you
I
weren't
just said I
involved in
agree with
when
it.
you still agree with it.
I just said I agree with it. Right? So, what I'm telling you is because this happens in one of the smaller channels, where minors cannot just join those channels. They're like by default, minors are not allowed on those channels, and they have to they have to enable them to come in. If I remember correctly, unless we change that rule. It's a small channel, small friend group. I think a couple of them are on camera. The Ziggy was on camera pretty often, and he was wearing a bathrobe, and he got up and he flashed his dick like a dumbass.
Yeah, that's a bad
So
thing. I think that should be
I
perma-bannable
agree.
behavior.
I understand you think this. However, I think that so long as he understands not to do that again, and I think he lost his video perm for like I think like 6 months or some shit or more.
You gave him it back.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, he eventually got it back.
You gave his video perms back after he
Yes,
flashed
he
his
eventually
penis
got it
on.
back. Yes. Like I said before, we try to be
Jesus.
fair with people. If they're going to work with us, we work with
Yeah,
them.
you try to be fair.
So they can demonstrate that they can change their behavior.
Yeah, so
give them a
being
chance to change their
fair
behavior. We believe in
is,
rehabilitative justice in the
Yeah,
public.
rehabilitative
That's what the issue
justice.
is. That's what the issue is.
Yeah, with flashing your penis on camera.
Yeah,
so
again,
with
if
that
you're with a bunch
rehabilitative-
of friends, if you're with a bunch of your friends and you want to flash your dicks if you're drunk and you think it's funny, really stupid. We don't allow that. It's not allowed on the server, but people do dumb shit sometimes. So we're going to take everything into account. We're going to look at the entire context of the situation. And if he did this on one of the main channels, he'd be banned because there are probably kids in there. If he did it in the smaller channel with his friends,
it's the
that
same thing
we've
with
all
the
known for a long
soliciting
time.
nudes, right?
Please
Yeah,
stop.
when there's
Please let
people
me
in your
finish.
server
Please let me
going
finish.
around
Please let me
soliciting
finish.
nudes
Please let me
from
finish.
random servers. Oh, we
Let me-
don't know
let me
if they're
finish.
soliciting nudes from
Just let me
minors
finish.
or not,
Let me-
so it's
please.
ambiguous.
Oh,
It's
God, please.
okay.
Please stop.
Jesus.
Let me finish. So because it's happened in the smaller channel with a bunch of users that have been on the server for a long time that we all know are adults, we didn't treat it as seriously. So yeah, that wasn't worth a ban.
No, I think that was 100% worth the ban. If there's someone
Well, then we
in
just
your
have
server
different
in which
moderation
there are
standards.
children in the server, and you're allowing them, even if it's in an environment that's more like secluded from like the rest of the server, if you're still allowing that behavior, by allowing I mean like 6 months later they're allowed to have video perms again, and they are not permanently banned, then I don't know if anyone could ever like trust you to be able to properly like moderate. That is a pattern of behavior that is possibly, actually demonstratably repeatable. I don't think you would trust that. When you have minors in your server, you need to go above and beyond when it comes to moderation to prevent like groomers or to prevent like pedophiles from entering your spaces. And if you're taking
I don't think
this
there's
like
anything to indicate this guy's a
laissez-faire,
groomer or a
lax
pedophile.
moderation
I don't know why you'd put that
when it
label
comes
on
to
it.
kids in your YouTube, or not your YouTube, in your Discord server, then I think that's a serious fucking problem, and I think that should be criticized.
Wait, so
You think
do
it's
you
fine
have
to be
a
criticized?
you're
I don't think there's any reason
making
to feel like it's a
you're
pedophile.
implying an allegation that like Ziggy is a risk to children because he flashed his penis to a room full of adults in a server that has kids in it. So do you
Yes. I know,
have
it-
additional evidence of Ziggy being a bad actor?
Do you think that if someone flashes their penis on camera, that is a risk to children when you allow them to operate in the same sort of like space?
Well,
No, I think he's being a
okay.
drunk idiot and flashes dick.
Well, I just want to answer my question. Do you think that there's a risk involved in that when someone flashes their penis on camera in a space where
How
kids are
old is
also in
how
that
old is
space?
Ziggy?
How old is
I
Ziggy
think
Dooby?
late 20s, early 30s.
Okay, that's a little old for that.
Like I said, he's a drunk idiot, and we eventually banned him for. I think we banned him for the grandma's ashes.
Yeah, there's another thing too. If he's drunk on camera, then you're expecting this person to be able
Wait.
to
So
act as a
he did. Hold
rational
on.
actor
That's actually an interesting question. So wait, he did the drunk on camera and he did the grandma's ashes.
So in both
It's
these
all the
cases,
same
he was drunk on camera, right? And what he would do is he would hang out in like smaller, like I said, we have users have the ability to create their own
Well,
channels.
I mean,
right?
I can tell you where I'm
he
going
was-
with this. The is he still a member of the community?
No, he was banned. I think we
Oh.
banned him, if I remember correctly, after the grandma's ashes thing, where he took out his dick in another one of these small rooms with I think even the same people, and he dipped his dick into his grandma's ashes on camera. He's fucking
Do you know
disgusting.
the timeline with that?
What?
What was the timeline on that between the two incidents?
I don't. I need to look it up.
and he's gone.
I would also want to know how many times this person was given a second chance. Connor, I have
6.
just a
So I
handful
need
of
to,
more questions that
so
I'm
I don't.
hoping I
I
can
need to
get
look up
to.
the timeline for you. I couldn't say off the top of my head, but I know there's a good with usually banned.
To be honest, I was asking how many times this guy got a second chance.
Let me just tell you. I'll look him up right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
While you look it up, I have a few more questions, North,
the reason
if you could indulge me.
Yeah, the reason why I would be curious about that as well is because it's like, okay, somebody's drunk with their friends, they got some like frat bro humor, you know, I did some, you know, me and my boys when we were in the restaurant industry and in our early 20s, we did some stupid shit. So if somebody was like a funny community member, maybe they get a little bit of a pass, right? But then once you add in the dick and grandma's ashes thing, it's like this isn't a this is a pattern of behavior at this point. So at this
Yeah,
point,
he had a ton of issues, like alcohol issues, drug issues. So like I said, we banned him. Eventually, I think he's banned for.
right? So, but
think it's
then,
weird.
But
Second
after how
incident.
many
Yeah, I
times?
need
How
to
many
pull it up.
infractions?
I'm trying to find his main account because he tried to come back on Alt a few times. And we banned him again. So I'm gonna try to find
Okay.
his personal account.
So I would like to. I have some questions to move on while you're looking that up. Okay.
Jesus.
And North, you're free to interject if you need to. Okay.
Sure.
Isn't it reasonable to view the efforts and the policies that you have placed on your Discord as designed to fly under the Discord's TOS instead of
shit.
adhering to its spirit?
Yeah, in many cases, yes. But I think you kind of need to do that to have a political server on Discord or any kind of debate server. So if you were to look at Discord's community guidelines, they don't allow mockery of religion, mockery of people's job status, mockery of their relationship status, etc. They don't allow mockery of anything, actually. So even in any Discord server that wants to have debates, wants to have even fucking conversations that aren't just fucking like Disney Channel shit, you need to fly. You need to skirt community guidelines. It's just inevitable.
You think that applies to your staff?
Yeah, it applies to
You think
that
that
applies
applies
to
to
you.
you?
It applies to Connor. It applies to everybody. Yeah.
Does it apply to you, Dooby?
Yeah, I just said everybody. You,
Okay.
me, Connor,
So
everybody.
let's hold on. Where's the screenshot?
So, for example, when Connor is on his Discord
Here we
server,
are.
right, and he's like shit talking Muslims or something,
Yeah.
right, that is a violation of Discord TOS. So,
So
Okay.
mocking
there's a
Islam is a
person-
violation of the Discord
I
TOS.
did a little bit of snooping at your Discord server because I wanted to see what it was like being in the largest politics Discord server. You know, I don't know if Connor's gonna pull this up or not. I just added this to the group chat.
I'm not pulling
Person
anything up.
called
I'm currently getting
Tranny
raped by
Slayer
Zinchi and Chaos
69
Spawn.
in your Discord server. Would you say this is like a
Okay.
person that should be? Is this under? Is this making fun of someone's identity? Is this acceptable behavior to be called Tranny Slayer 69?
No, we don't allow people to have names that advocate for violence, and if you'd report him to the mod mail, that he would have been forced to change his name.
What if you don't report them?
Well, then if a mod sees it, they'll get him to change it.
What if a mod does not see it, and what if
Okay,
they
well,
don't report it?
we can't like mod things that we're not aware of, unfortunately.
This guy's in
Okay.
VC. This is where the screenshot comes from. This is not me like
I
looking
understand.
up individual usernames. This is a guy that's like actively participating.
Okay, but for context, there's anywhere from 250 to 350, 360 people in the voice channels at any given time all day. So like,
All
Which
right.
is why
Well,
if you have lax moderation, it's a little bit of an issue,
we
isn't
don't
it?
have lax moderation at all.
I would
Well, I
recommend
think- well,
that
you
we
just admitted
do
that you have
based on
lax
my
moderation.
observation. I have seen many things go by unmoderated, including, and I asked you this earlier, to find me the mod mail ticket or the PDF that was submitted that was like titled like rape gang inquiry or whatever. Like, do you have that ticket? Did someone report that? Because I watched that go through without being modded by
Sorry, one
AutoMod,
second. Wait,
and I
wait.
watched that go through without
hear
being
me?
modded by a moderator.
Wait, one second. So I accidentally unplugged my mic and my headset, so I didn't hear anything except for the last 15 seconds.
So do you recall I asked you about the incident earlier today where someone submitted a PDF and it didn't get auto-modded and no one moderated it? Even people in chat were asking for it to be moderated.
Yes, yeah, you asked me about that earlier today.
Did you have a mod mail ticket for that incident? Did someone in your user base report that problem the
What
way
was the
that you're
PDF?
saying they're trained to do?
What was the PDF?
That said something like, I have it somewhere in my notes. Or it's the Rape Gang Inquiry Report .pdf.
Oh, I don't think that should be moderated.
Why?
It's
That's
news.
about the
It's
UK
current events.
It's a
Yeah,
PDF. It's a PDF, like an attachment. You told
Yeah.
me earlier you don't allow this.
No, hold on. I never said I don't allow PDFs. When I say
Okay,
that.
so you can attach a PDF, and it has the title of Rape Gang Inquiry Report, and you can submit that to a chat full of minors, and there's no red flags, in your opinion.
Totally fine. This is a current event. It's in the news. They're going to see it everywhere. They're going to
Thank
hear about
you.
rape
What
gangs.
about
Got it.
skimpy photos of
Wait on,
women?
do you disagree with
Do you
that?
allow that?
Do you think a
depend-
13-year-old
I
should
would
not be
just
able to
add
watch?
this to-
Hold on, no. I have a serious
Hold on.
question. Do North or Fellrunner? Do you think that like a 13-year-old should not be able to see the rape gang inquiry on CNN?
I think they should see it in the context of an educational environment, and they should see it in the context of a parental guidance or a counselor or someone who is a professional with children. And I really don't think that it's okay to just say, hey, they saw it on the internet. Everyone sees shit on the internet.
And Connor, remember, this is not.
Hold on, I need to-
right?
I need
like,
to- wait one
CNN is a news organization. Like if CNN reports on the rape inquiry, which was done by like the
So
UK,
they're talking about rape
it's
gangs.
I'd
kind of a
also
little
like
bit
to point
different than,
out,
like,
this
adults
is a
talking with
PDF
13-year-old
that
about
just
it.
showed
I
up
don't
in
think there's
chat,
equivalency
and it
there,
could
no.
have any content in it whatsoever. It may or may not have been the actual thing. A random user submitted a random
wouldn't you expect
PDF.
that? Hold
I didn't
on.
bother
They-
downloading
okay,
it and looking at
there's
it.
there's some criticisms that I'm finding valid, and there's some criticisms that I'm not. And so the
Sure.
criticisms that I'm finding that are valid are, hey, you're taking a huge fucking risk by having a mixed age space, but Dooby has already accepted that. And then what you've also said is, hey, with 100,000 fucking people, and also, you know, here's half a dozen examples, or even 2 or 3 examples of some kind of fucked up shit happening on the server. But then the answer to that is, oh, well, don't worry, guys. I'll redouble it so we have perfect moderation at all times. Anybody could come and post fucked up shit, and they could post CSAM in our server. The question is whether or not it gets moderated. That's the question.
That's not
And
necessarily
he's
the
saying
question that I'm saying.
that these are not being moderated, but okay.
Well, no,
What I am
hold on,
saying
wait,
is
wait,
not
I need to-
only-
Guys, I need to address something really quickly.
Sure.
So this tranny slayer person, just look at what I'm about to post. So that was moderated, and they're forced to change their name. What was that?
Perfect.
3 days ago.
Let's see here. 3 days ago.
Just to point that out, you have a tolerance policy where you're allowed to reoffend. So this person can go change their name to Tranny Slayer all day, and they can just, it's fine. It's just a constant,
No, hold
like,
on. If they
back and
pattern
forth
behavior
between
and
mods.
it's clear that they're not working with us, then move in.
But only when
Well,
your
we get
mods
people-
decide it's enough, right? It's
No,
up
hold
to
on,
your
when-
mods
when
to
the founders
care
decide
enough
it's
to do
enough. So
that.
the only people on the server that can ban are the founders. So when we decide it's enough, then yeah, we will ban them. But
There you
we-
go.
like,
Then when it's enough
if
for
people are working
your
with us,
4
and they
opinions,
demonstrate
But
that
this
they're
is-
willing to work with us, then yeah, we'll keep them on ban.
This is literally
Gotcha.
your screenshot shows this person breaking the rules multiple times. You might not have intended this. In the bottom right of your screenshot, it says that they were detained for a second time, talking about changing. So the first one says change your username, no slurs. The second one says change your username, no Negro in it. So that is already you claim you punish this person. Then they break the rules again, and then you let them go again. You're doing this like catch
That's a
and
different-
release
hold on,
bullshit.
that's a different-
And I don't
that's a-
even know
oh,
if
God.
either of these
Would
were
North,
even
North, you need
related
to
to,
wait,
because it doesn't
please,
seem like it is,
you're
to
misunderstanding.
the
That's a
the
different
tranny
person.
thing. I think that might even be like a third
God.
attempt that they might have gotten
North,
detained.
that's a different
Connor, I
person.
have 6
Wait,
more
no,
questions.
stop.
if I
Wait,
can get them.
one second, North. That's a different person.
Oh,
The
you're talking about the
Negro
one
thing
at
is
the
a
bottom
totally
right,
different
it's the
person.
case
Yeah,
person.
I'll repost it. I'll repost it so it just shows the one guy you're looking at. Okay.
Sounds good. All right. I have a few more questions. All right. Let's move on from your Discord. Let's go to Dooby. Okay.
Okay.
Dooby's stance on pedophilia and offender management philosophy. Why does your historical discourse reflect a pattern of attempting to philosophically normalize or accommodate non-offending demographics within a public community space? Just
That's a very
explain
good
yourself and your philosophy.
So my philosophy is that I see this as a mental illness that people have. And they don't have it because they want to have it. They have it because they had something happen to them or brain chemistry is fucked up, whatever it is. And I want these people to get help because if they don't get help, it's very likely that they're going to hurt a child at some point. They're going to some subsection of these people are going to give into the urges and they're going to hurt a child. I don't want that to happen. So what I want them to do is seek help. Unfortunately, the culture that we have is if you find out somebody has this paraphilia or this mental illness, the answer is torture them, murder them, hang them, etc. Whether or not they've actually acted on these impulses that they have, not through no fault of their own. I think that's a bad culture. I think that culture hurts children. I think it leads to more kids being molested. So what I want to do is allow people to feel safe to come forward about this mental illness, about the struggles with it, and treat it like something like a fucking schizophrenia or something, right? So if they are harming people, right, and they're not getting treatment for this, then yeah, I wouldn't want them in the space at all. I'd want them arrested if they're harming kids.
How would you feel
Actually,
if a
let
non-offender
me
in
finish.
your space
Well,
Let
yeah,
me-
let him
committed
finish,
an
and I got a
offense in your
question.
space for the first time?
One second. So I don't want them executed if they harmed a child, right? Even the first time. So, however, I think we need to give people the room to seek help to change. So I don't think we can do that if the answer when these people come forward is hang them, torture them, etc.
Do you have a
when you say
concern?
normalize, that's the normalization I'm doing. I'm trying to normalize. I'm coming forward and seeking help.
I understand. Do you find a concern that a non-offender may come into your community and offend in your community?
Yeah, of course.
Your inner circle
Hey,
has
Dooby.
Oh, go ahead, dude, North, go for
Sorry,
it.
yeah. When these people are coming forward in order to, I guess, get rehabilitated, do you think your server is the space for that?
No, to get rehabilitated, no. They need to go to like therapy, probably be medicated.
So you will perban these
therapy.
people, right?
No. Well, currently, yes.
What?
Hold on. So let me clarify this for you. So currently, I'd allow these people if I could. Unfortunately, Discord does not have the built-in protections that I'd want to feel safe with these people in the community. So we do ban them, right? Even if they're non-offending, right? We find out that somebody has this attraction, they're banned, no matter what. However, if we had an ideal situation where Discord's AI moderation wasn't shit, and there was like automatic scanning of all interactions between all minors and all adults, and it knew who the minors and adults were, and the moment that somebody was being inappropriate with a minor, the account was locked and was reported to the authorities and yada yada. If that existed, I'd allow them in the server under the condition that when they spoke about this, they spoke about it from the perspective of somebody seeking help. They weren't trying to accommodate things. They weren't trying to advocate for it. They weren't trying to normalize it. They weren't trying to say it was okay. They're speaking about it like they had a fucking serious mental illness that they wanted help with, right? And that was the context in which they spoke of it. And they reaffirmed that it was a bad thing and yada yada yada. So if these people, if I could have them on the platform on the server in a way that was safe, because Discord had these built-in protections, I'd absolutely ban them. However, right now, because that doesn't exist, we do ban them.
Okay, I have a follow-up to that particular response because I was going to ask you about that, but just so I keep everything in order here. Your inner circle has repeatedly warned you that your rhetoric regarding the offender management actively legitimizes the grooming allegations that you get against your server, right? Your own staff is saying that to you in your own chats. They're saying they don't want to be therapists. They're saying they don't want to understand offenders. Your own community, in some aspects, don't agree with your personal philosophy. Why do you feel like you should be the authority on how this policy is? Do you have a vote for how this policy is enacted, or is it a top-down rule?
Okay, to be clear again, the policy doesn't exist because we don't have the built-in protections I was talking about. So right now, they're banned.
Can I mix that? Can I mix that
please.
policy?
Wait 1
Sorry,
second.
because I understand what you're saying, and I don't want it to be obfuscated from my question. This question is related to the minors tag in that same conversation. They weren't just asking, why do we let PDFs in? And you say, we don't let PDFs in. What's the problem? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying they also, in that same conversation, voiced the concern with the minor tag policy and how it contributes to both of those problems. And you don't want to listen to them. And I'm trying to ask you, is it a vote or is it a top-down decision?
Okay, so so when you say the policy, you're not referring to a policy of letting pedophiles on the server because we don't, right?
No.
You're referring to
No, I'm not trying to.
You're referring
do that,
to
no.
them saying, and to be clear, it's not all of them. We allow my server is not like I don't saying my server is weird because, like I said, the founder team are equals, right? So it's our server, our community.
Just call it your
the way that
server.
the way that we look at it is more like it's very democratic, the way that we handle things. We've had 8-hour debates with the mod team about exactly what NSFW means. and about
Mhm.
whether or not allowing people to post a GIF of a rhino shitting should be allowed, right?
Mhm.
Like we had fucking 12-hour debate about the Pepe clown emoji, right? In mod chat, and multiple like voice
Sure.
channels, fucking arguing with like constantly. So
Some
the
mods call your server a weird, inappropriate server for minors. Right, that's safe to say. I've seen mods say that.
I've never seen them say that.
In that same
If they-
conversation, they said that.
Who? Which mod?
I don't know what their name is. I don't have it memorized.
Wait,
I don't
hold on.
know
Which
your
conversation
team.
are you talking about?
The one that you had on the voice chat. The
None of
one
those people
the
were mods.
conversation where you were saying you should save intimate photos of your exes on a secret folder on your phone. That conversation.
Jesus
Wait, okay. The way that you're framing this is disgusting. Hold on. I need to
Sorry.
point this out.
Sorry.
No. Well, you should be sorry.
Wait,
because
why don't
what
we
you
pull
just
up
did
the
is
audio then? If it's contention,
Well, one
It
second.
wasn't audio, it was
It is-
text. He
Well, this
typed
is
it.
it.
Text. Okay,
Please
then let's go
stop.
pull up the text then.
I'm
Let
sure
me-
it was just a meme.
Oh my god.
Do you mean?
No, hold on. This is the issue.
Runner, if you have the text, let's go pull it up.
Yeah, pull the text actually if you have.
I have
Your things.
I have no problem.
Okay,
Through the
well,
questions.
Runner is reconnecting. Dooby, you allow
No,
people
no,
to
we're not
post
gonna- we're not gonna move
thirst
past
traps,
that.
right?
No, hold on.
This is relevant.
No,
this is relevant.
North,
You allow
No,
people to
North,
post-
We're not gonna
I'm
pass
making
that.
a ruling. If somebody is accusing Dooby of saying that it's good to maintain intimate images or videos in violation of their partner's consent after they break up, that needs to be litigated before we move to anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
We're not
even
gonna
willing
have
to let Dooby call it a
political
meme
mod.
if he wants, but it's definitely, I
not a
have
meme.
it
Hold
on. Yeah,
I
he
stand
can pull up
by
the record.
literally everything I said, right? But to be very clear,
Okay.
one, you said that this was a conversation I was having in voice chat. That was not a conversation I was having in voice chat. That was a text channel that I was in. So that
On the
was wrong.
voice chat, on the voice
Yeah,
chat
in a voice
channel,
chat text channel,
the
right? But I was not in
text
the voice
of
channel.
the voice. That's what I
I
said.
understand.
But listen
no, it
to
isn't.
like,
But okay,
that's
but
a
let me
weird,
finish.
that's just pedantry.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
you typed
No,
it, and I said
no,
you
it
typed
isn't.
it
Hold on,
multiple
no, it isn't,
times.
because the reason I'm saying this is because none of the people I was having those conversations with, or that conversation with in the text channel, were mods. None of them. So
matter.
I don't know. So you said that the mod team said this, or
Well,
the
I
mod
could be
team-
conflating two different conversations that I
Yeah, I
read.
think you just don't
I
understand the roles on the
totally
server, which is
reasonable.
fine.
I may
which is
have
fine, but I'd
conflated
like
two
to-
conversations.
Which,
But-
Okay,
again,
but
is
can
fine, but I'd
we
like to-
get the specifics on the fucking
Yeah.
you know? And by the way, like for me,
I can get the
fucking
screenshots if
people
that's what you
people
guys
say
want.
that'd
crazy
be great.
shit in this fucking space all the time. That's not the point. The point is that effectively there's like an allegation of Dooby principally backing some kind of like sexual misconduct. So I would like to hear what was said, and I would like to hear the context of what was said, and take it from there. So I don't want
Before
to
we
move
can move
on
forward-
because the
No.
accusation is that Dooby is saying like, oh, you should keep fucking intimate images of your ex-partner against their will for fucking something.
I didn't say it as explicitly as that. I can get you the quotes on
hold
there. I
on.
can
The way
get
that
you the
you said that
screenshots.
was
I do have
implying-
3 other
was
questions.
implying that I was saying that they could do this without their partner's consent. When I explicitly
I didn't
said
imply
the
that.
opposite. I said if they get permission to save them. That's what I said.
It's to hoard intimate media like trophies is, I think, a quote that I have from you.
I've never
Wait,
used
wait,
word.
wait,
Hold on,
Fellow
I've never
Runner,
said hoard intimate
let's see
media
the
like
screenshot.
trophies.
I could be paraphrasing.
Hold
I don't
on.
have the. in
I
front of me.
probably
can
said
get
save them like
I can
trophies.
get this,
right?
but I
Hold
would
on. I
rather
never said
talk
hoard
about what
intimate
I
data
have.
like trophies. So the way that you're saying this is again extremely disingenuous.
I get it. It's out of context. I can give
No,
Connor
not
the
even out of
context.
context. It's just a dishonest in the way that you're framing it. I'm
That's
not saying
fine.
that-
You
not
can
that.
you can clarify it with the full record of what
Well,
you said in that
hold
channel.
on. You have the screenshots. I'll post a screenshot.
Well, don't you have access to the logs? Don't just bring up the
Hold on.
logs. How about that?
You
Isn't that
screenshots,
faster?
Post a screenshot.
I have the screenshots. I'm
Then
asking
post it.
you if you have the logs.
Yes. but then
Why?
post
Do
a
you?
Okay,
screenshot.
hold on. Why?
Wait, just
No,
Why? If you have easy access to the screenshot, why aren't you just reading
I have to go.
the
I have to stop
screenshot?
talking. I have to go to my personal computer, and then I have to submit a chat, and I can do it. I
God.
do have 3
Yeah,
more
please do
questions
that.
that are related,
Because-
and then I
hold
can
on, so
do
we
the
do have
screenshots at the
logs.
end.
Hold on, so let me just show you the reason that I think it's better if you get the screenshot. Okay.
That's fine.
So this is the initial question. So that's somebody asked me, do you ban someone for having someone else's news who they used to be in a relationship with, however, never deleted them? And I said nope. And then the next chunk of that, where is it? is because
Hold
it's in
on.
the logs, it's like spread out like this, right?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like do
So
do
it's
we
just a lot
not
easier
have,
if
like,
you have
the
the full
full combo?
conversation and
I
you can
have
see
the
all
full
context.
combo. I just have 3 more
Yeah, then
questions
go
that
get
I
it.
want.
Yeah, no, we're
What?
gonna focus on this until we get through it. Because I feel like what you just
We're
said.
gonna focus on this one. You can't save that to the
Yeah,
end.
we're gonna focus on you implying that I
You
was
have
saying
the
that people should
logs.
forward
Just
is
contextualize what you
no,
said.
you just need to post them. So we're gonna focus on you implying that I was saying that people should hoard their X's and nudes.
All right, give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes,
Yeah,
guys.
I
Give me 2
don't.
minutes.
Okay,
Like,
the
there's a
reason why
2-minute,
I don't want to
like,
move. Hold on. The reason why I don't want to move is because what happens with these fucking conversations is that, like, there's a relatively serious elbow thrown, then people move on, and then sorry, I want to leave my fire team. Then people move on, but then they keep revisiting the serious topic over and over and over again because it was never resolved. So I would like the quote of what Dooby said, and then I would like him to have an opportunity to either articulate the context or state his opinion in light of the exact quote.
So we have the screenshots that Doobie posted in chat, which is, do you ban someone for having someone else's nudes who used to be in a relationship, however never deleted them? This is someone, I'm assuming, responding to Doobie.
Okay.
No, someone asking me a
And
question.
then Doobie responds, preferably a secure folder,
You're
but
not
only
even
if you
reading the
have
screenshot
the safe
correctly.
permission of. Oh,
Yeah, so
am I
where it says
not?
reply content is so if I that means that I hit reply on their message, and the reply content is what I was replying to. The message content is my message, which is the note in the first screenshot.
Yeah, you say no, and then, as in, you will not ban this person, and
Right.
then the next screenshot is, you replying to something, I don't know what. It's saying preferably a secure folder, but if you get permission to save, but only if you get permission to save it, of course.
This is the other.
Why
chunk.
is there a 2-minute gap between these two messages?
Was it? Well, like I said, this is the other chunk right here. So this is why it's
Why are we
just
posting
easier if
this in,
Fel
like, a
has
3-minute?
the entire like screenshot because it'll have all the context of the conversation.
Well,
But go to the logs. I can piece it together, but it's much more difficult for everybody to read.
You're
so
supposed to
is
hoard nudes
the
like trophies, is what you said.
Yeah, preferably in a secure folder, but only if you get a confession to save, of course. I think it's totally
yeah?
fine. However, I think there's more. I think there's even more that was said in that conversation. That there's not in the screenshot. So again, I have to piece it together, and I can do that. It's just easier if Fel has a screenshot.
Well, and sorry if I'm, jumping ahead or whatever, but I also don't, I do want to go to bed and I don't want to get snagged around something forever. So if the totality of the statement is, would you ban somebody if they held on to intimate images after someone broke up with them? And then Doobie's answer is no, which could be spicy. But then he says, well, if you have the permission of your former partner or whatever, then what is the criticism?
Oh, here's another chunk of that. Okay. So, and this is why it's just easier if Fel has the screenshot, because I did mention that it would be after the nope, it was as long as you're not sharing them without the consent, which is also in that conversation.
Well,
So
as long as you're not sharing them without their consent. So I guess my question is, with that logic, so you're in a relationship, you have a partner, they share, homemade pornography with you, you break up. Doobie, what's your opinion on whether or not you should delete that material?
I think you should delete it, but I'm not going to ban somebody for not deleting it, so long as they're not like sharing it around without consent.
Hold on.
And I think that to save them in the first place, I think you should have consent to save them in the first place.
Okay,
To
so
say,
so
quote,
North, do
you're
you
supposed to
have
hoard
a
them
problem with
like
that take?
trophies?
Yeah.
Well, I think he's lying here when he says you're
Why?
supposed to hoard nudes like trophies. Is that not counteracting that statement you just made, saying that you shouldn't save them?
No.
Or that you wouldn't save
hold
them?
on.
Sorry.
So there have been this is maybe TMI. There have been times where I used to like go through my phone every so often and just delete all the news in there because I'd have like 1,500, 2,000 or some shit. I just delete them and then start fresh, right? And I've never looked at them. It's sort of like a the way that I look at nudes, right, it's kind of like a trophy that you get for interacting with a woman. She sends you her boobs, and you look at it like, oh, that's nice, and then you just put it in the folder once you get her permission to save it, and then you never look at it again. That's kind of how it goes. Okay, got plenty of news from my wife like this. She sends me boobs in the middle of the day. Oh, cool, nice, and then I put it in the folder. And that's it. So if I ever wanted to go look at it, I could, but I don't really need to because I can see her boobs any day I want.
Are you receiving nudes outside of your wife?
Of course. Yeah, my wife and I, it's not an open relationship, but we fuck around with other women pretty often. Not so often anymore because we have a son now, obviously, and it's more difficult. We've been hooking up with other women since we.
Each and every time you say explicitly, "Hey, thank you for this nude. Can I please save this onto my nude folder?"
Yeah,
I think you said the explicitly the opposite.
Yeah, it's extremely nerdy to do it like that, but I ask if I can save it. Yeah, is it okay for me to help save this? It's very simple. Like it's not.
Well, Dooby, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you also just say, like, I think if somebody shared with you a intimate image in the past, as long as you don't share it with other people, it's not something that you think you should. If the other person requests that you delete it, you think it's good that you do. But if a community person wasn't sharing it, but they also refused to delete intimate images that had been shared with them by a partner in the past, that would not be grounds from a ban from your server.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
So North, do you have a problem with that statement?
I just sent a screenshot in the group chat.
No, but I mean, I think we articulated his statement as coherently as possible. So do you have a problem? Do you think that Dooby and the I want to finish the question. Do you think that Dooby and the mod team, some woman comes, or presumably a woman, maybe it's a gay guy, who knows, but they come to the mod team and they say, hey, I used to be dating this person, I shared nudes with them, and they we broke up, and they said they're not sharing it with anybody else, but they said they weren't going to delete it. Can you please ban them from the server? And then the mod team says no. Do you have a problem with that?
I have a problem with that, yeah. Probably.
Yeah, I think it's a moral thing to do, but it's more of a personal issue between the two of them, so long as it's not being shared. If it gets shared, I'll ban them, of course. But
all right, I shared those screenshots. God damn, what a tangent. All right, the screenshots are in. You guys worked out exactly the whole context. So I do feel like, do you feel better, Dooby? Do you got your clarification here?
Well,
hold on. You threw a pretty sharp fucking elbow there, bud. So like, don't be surprised if you throw a sharp elbow. Don't be surprised that people want it to be clear.
I'm not. Listen, I think that Dooby can defend himself. I'm just surprised that was the thing we got snagged on.
There's even more that I didn't post, right? So, so somebody says, why give them out at all then, right? Because I say, so in response to me saying, as long as they're not sharing them without consent, someone says, why give them out at all then? And I say, why would you assume sending it to one person is an invitation to share share them, right? So I think I'm being very clear. My position is, hey, totally fine to save this if you have consent. It's not okay to share it without consent, right?
Sure.
It's very but the way that you framed this earlier is that what I was saying is that you should hoard nudes without the consent of the person in the nudes.
No, I didn't say that. I said what you said. You said, and you said what you said. What I said, you said is right there in the screenshot for Connor to look at.
Yeah, you said one of the things
you
I said.
Can, not like you said, you can contextualize it as you need, and you have. I'm hoping you feel better about that.
Okay, I feel better about it because I feel like that could have been easily. Hold on. I feel better about it because I feel like that could have easily been inferred from what you stated. So, but I feel.
I think that was the intention. The intention.
I feel like we, regardless of intent, malevolence, non-malevolence, whatever, we've clarified the take.
To be clear, Dooby lied before, and I want to call him out on this because.
Wait, about what?
When you said. Oh, either that or there's a contention you have to address with the screenshot that I sent. You said that you ask permission from women explicitly to download their nudes onto a secure folder on your computer. What do you think
hold
about
on, not
this?
my computer.
Quote,
that's cringe on my phone.
Or your phone, sorry. That doesn't really change the context that much. Quote,
I know, I'm just being
I
very
don't think I've ever verbally asked for consent from a woman. And I've been with a lot of women, and then it's a gorilla pointing at himself or something like that.
Yeah, it's a thinking
Do you
gorilla.
think
But
that
to clear
that
this-
changes what, or that goes against what you just said, in which you
No,
say
not at
that
all.
you
Actually,
explicitly ask women to download
no,
their
not
nudes
at
onto
all.
your computer or
So
on your phone?
yeah, so if you so first off, the screenshot's like 3 years old. It's about a totally different topic. However, I'm totally fine with giving you the context, right? So right there, we're talking about verbal consent, right? Whether you need verbal consent from somebody you're gonna have sex with. So I said, I don't think I've ever verbally asked for consent for women, and I don't think I have. Like typically, there's way more to consent than asking outright, right? Hey, can I fuck you, right? I don't think I've ever done that directly. It's more implied. It's the mood, yada yada yada, right? Which is just normal human interaction. So that is true. If somebody sends me a nude by text, I'm responding by text, right? And I'm asking through text. However, if I did get a nude I was like, and I hadn't asked by text before, and I was in front of the person, yeah, I might ask them if I could say, but I don't think I've ever done that. Like, I don't think that changes anything at all.
So is that a hot take that what would you say? Is that a hot take that you don't ask for, like, you don't think you've ever explicitly asked for consent? May I have sex with you?
I'd say, of course. Do you have a? You say this is the context of the conversation changes it. Do you have screenshots showing that the context of this conversation?
I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't give a fuck. So it's okay. 111. It's 111. So Fel, is this 3 more questions until you reach a standpoint, or is this 3 more questions until you're done?
I don't need 3 more questions. Let me do my last question. Can we try to
speed run these?
Yep, this is it. We don't need 3 questions. This is it. Last one. Please explain, Dooby. You explained your AI protection layer in your ideal universe. Okay? Let's just say you have it and it exists. What tasks is it doing that you're thinking of that your mod team isn't doing and can't do? What is the difference between the magic bot and what the current status quo is that you're saying there's some kind of blockage? Because it's not clear to me what you're saying when you say if there was a magic bot that could protect minors from the initial harm.
Okay. So I think it is pretty clear. So when I say I want very good AI automatic scanning of all interactions, I mean voice channel interactions and text channel interactions and DM interactions between all minors and all adults. I think this is something that Discord should have. And I hope eventually someday Discord is able to figure out exactly who's a minor and exactly who's an adult. My position is, if we get to the point where this exists, and so we know exactly who the minors are, Discord knows who the minors are, their AI knows who the minors are, they automatically scan all interactions between minors and adults, and those interactions are immediately checked for inappropriate behavior anyway, inappropriate, even a behavior that points to something that might be grooming, right, in any kind of context. Those accounts are locked, disabled, and the adults' accounts reported to the authorities. The minors' accounts reported to their parents. If that kind of system existed, I'd be okay with this. That does not exist right now. We don't have anything.
Well, you're saying only if that system was perfect and was 100% correct every time it flagged a minor.
Guarantee the safety, yeah.
Almost as if that's something that can never happen, right? So you would accept that there's probably never going to be a scenario where it's going to be okay for these people to share spaces.
Yeah, exactly. I was speaking more about my preference, my personal philosophy about free speech and why I think it's important for people to be able to share their perspectives, even perspectives that we might find distasteful or gross or taboo or whatever.
Okay, so I guess my conclusion here is that your Discord, from my observation, is routinely letting minors be exposed to crazy people who definitely seem like they want to do bad stuff. It feels like you're very lax on that, and it feels like you want to fly just under the TOS because that keeps you in an edgy space. It keeps your user base where it's at. It's popular. It's cool. Kids like it. Kids want to hang out in those areas. I think you're into that. I'm not saying that you're into kids. I think you're into the idea of being cool. You have many cool guy stories that come out of turn, out of left
Silly.
field, and it's very weird to me. And it's my personal
really
opinion,
this
but I
is-
think
it's really
the
silly.
idea that you think that you're running a community that families meet each other in and get married in and
They
have
do.
great, that's great. And I'm glad that they do. I'm
Like,
not saying
multiple
that that
people
didn't
met their
happen,
wives
and I
and
don't
husbands on the
dispute it.
server,
What
that's
I
right.
would say is that when I look at that statement that you made, and then I look at the live chat going on next to that statement, and I see image after image after image of these kids posting these crazy things, and then just minors are in the chat, and who knows who even is really a minor or isn't. I am saying you don't have a community for family values. And all I really want from you is to just admit it's not a family values community. It's not more than just a politics debate server that is there to broaden people's perspective and provide education and to give like a bigger picture thing for people to become better people. It's literally just another meme Discord that skirts under the TOS and probably is at risk constantly, which is why you're not keeping the record public, of violating TOS to the point where your server could be brought down. And I think you dismiss those allegations, not allegations, but those concerns that I'm pointing as like not real issues because you've been around for 10 years and it's never been an issue. I think
I
that
think you have
that
no
is
idea what you're
like
talking about.
hiding
Like, at
from the
all.
problem.
So I'd like to
honestly.
respond to all this. So you're rambling. I'd like to respond to everything. So first, this cool guy story thing. So I understand that you think that some of the experiences that I expressed to you, right, when we're talking about this shit, might sound cool to somebody. To me, they're not cool. Actually, having to talk people down when they're suicidal is not cool. Actually, that's not fun. Having to talk down somebody who's gonna do a mass shooting is not cool. It's not fun, right? So like having to deal with fucking 764 and 098 fuckheads who are like getting kids to cut themselves in sex
I
storing
think that
women.
it's unfair for you
Please
to
stop. Please stop
characterize
talking
what
about
I
it.
said as saying that's the cool guy stories. It's not what I was referring to at all.
Fel, you made like 5 or 6 points. I would like Dooby to have an
I'm known as
opportunity
the
to
non-interruptible
respond
NPC,
to
so
5 or 6
well, forgive me.
points uninterrupted. No
Okay.
problem.
So all these terrible things that we've had to deal with as a community for years, and I've shown you some of the shit from like 2017, right, when this kind of stuff really started, when we started getting targeted by Adam Waffen and 098 and 764. They're trying to dox the mod team and trying to get the server deleted and trying to sex store people in the community. This stuff is not cool to me. It's just stuff that I've had to deal with as somebody who helps manage the server. And we've had to come up with solutions for these fucking things and how to deal with these fucking people. That is not cool. It's not fun. It's just the reality of existing on the internet. And if you knew anything about the platform you're on, you would know that this is not something that's unique to our space. If you're a community member or a community leader in any of these larger spaces, you're going to run into this because it's fucking everywhere on the internet. There are fucking tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands at this point, of 764, 098, Adam Waffen, MMK, these people who are just fucking evil. They're just fucking evil, right? They're all over the fucking internet, and they're targeting kids and adults in these communities, especially vulnerable communities. They make Discord servers specifically to find fucking victims. They will make a mental health server to find like a mental health support group server specifically to find people with mental health issues that they can victimize. These are evil people that exist all over the fucking world that are on this platform right now. I don't like these people. I don't like having to deal with these people. I don't think it's cool to deal with these people. So that's stupid. So I understand that you think it's a cool story or something when I talk about these experiences. I don't consider it a cool story. Secondly,
Well, may I clarify
please,
so that
no,
you're
wait,
not
well, no, please,
hinged
no,
on
no,
that?
hold
Because
on.
it
Yeah.
seems like you're
Dooby, no,
going
I'm
off
not
a
done. I'm not
tangent,
done.
Talking
and
about
that's not
these
what I
things,
said.
You're
No,
you're
no,
talking about
no, I'm
yourself
not
as
done.
if you're some sort of
Please
like
stop.
hero.
No, I'm not.
Why,
Okay, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about is the
is
issue.
your nickname.
No, the issue is that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No,
Unfortunately,
I think I do know
these
what I'm
people
talking about.
exist.
When
Please,
you
these
talk
people
about like
exist.
764
Oh my
and
god.
the Adam Waffen people,
When Connor talks,
these
please,
are
when Connor
people
talks
that you
about
are
things he's had to do
actively
as a
going out
cop,
of
you
your
think he's trying to
way
present himself
to
as a fucking hero?
antagonize.
Guys,
And if you want to talk
Please
about
stop
how
talking.
hold up. Let's
you
just
You
go
don't know
slower.
what the fuck you're talking
down.
about.
Everybody stop. Everybody stop. Okay. What?
Stay here.
So frickin' Fell made half a dozen points, and Dooby made one. I know it took a minute, but he made one counterpoint. Okay.
I would
The
disagree.
one
This was an
counterpoint.
interview, and Dooby answered
one-
almost all of my questions.
No, I didn't. I'm not done.
Okay. The one counterpoint that he made was, I'm not trying to sound like a fucking cool guy. I've been through some serious shit, and I'm trying to communicate to you guys some serious shit. Regardless of whether or not you accept that is kind of irrelevant. I just want him the opportunity to respond to whatever else he remembers from Fell Runner's points. So, Dooby,
Sure.
please continue.
So I think that me having the miners on the server in the first place is not about, I think it's obviously not about wanting to be the cool guy, because it'd be much easier for me, much better for my reputation if I give a fuck about that, to just ban them all and not have people calling me a groomer and a pedophile and all this kind of shit. That's if I gave a fuck about my reputation and seeming cool, I would just ban them all. There's only like what, 3,000 that we know of, or 2,500 or so that we know of right now. I just ban them all. We've had this issue within the community. We've had this come up again and again and again, because some people want to ban the minors, some people don't want to ban the minors. Some people have like different approaches that we've talked about for fucking years about this issue. If I cared about the reputation thing, they'd just be gone. Like, it'd be very simple. So that doesn't make any sense. And I think that this idea that, like, I don't even know how to express this to you. Like, you are speaking as if the way that things are right now on the server is just me. It's something that I came up with, and I think I know best, and I'm just doing it. The reality is, as I said earlier, we've had fucking countless discussions, debates, arguments as a team, for fucking hundreds, thousands, probably thousands of mods at this point, if I filtered through the team over the year, for a decade now, about how to handle this issue, how to handle all the issues on the server, how to handle every fucking thing that happens in the community. We have very, very long discussions about this for fucking years. So this is not just I decided a thing. We talk about it and then we vote on it as a team, and then whatever the outcome of the vote is what happens. So it is not me coming down and say, oh no, I just really want to allow minors on the server. It's the team for a fucking decade has decided this is the best way to handle the situation. And I'm here as the guy who's the face of the community for the most part, expressing that decision to you and why I think this is a good decision. That's what's happening. It's not me saying, oh, I just really want to have minors on the server because I think it makes me cool. That's totally ridiculous.
Okay, to be clear, this skirting of responsibility bullshit, this is complete and utter nonsense.
I'm not skirting at all. I'm telling you that I agree with
your server, and I'm going to call it your server because you are the self-described owner of the largest politics Discord
One
server.
of them, yeah.
I'm sorry, did you say one of the owners every time you were bragging about it in other people's
I'm not bragging.
YouTube
founder team.
No, you were.
Make the point, bro.
But anyway, this is an environment that you created. Talking about like Adam Waffen and 764, 784, whatever the fuck they're called, raiding your community.
Whatever they're
like. I'm 99% sure this is not like these people came after me and thus I'm like responding to them. I am sure that these people are raiding you because you are conducting your little pedophile hunting operations.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
People. Am I wrong?
You have no idea. Yeah, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about at all. So I'm actually
no.
Connor,
am I wrong?
Connor, hold on. So do you know BX Bullet, Connor?
Sorry, what?
Do you know BX Bullet?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, can you maybe, because I think this is actually really, really important, because I feel like most people do not understand the gravity of what the fuck I'm talking about when I talk about these groups. She did like a mini documentary on these groups and her experiences with them and how they targeted her as soon as she started looking into them because she like stumbled onto their existence, right? And how they tried to find her, and they tried to use they tried to like spoof fucking law enforcement requests for her information to try to track her down and they fucking kill her. So I think it would be very helpful, I think, for everybody who's on the internet, because kids that might end up on the internet at some point, to understand what the fuck these groups are, because it is not what you're speaking. I feel like it feels like I'm aware of like these fucking terrorist groups that exist all over this fucking platform we're on, and you're just prancing along as if they don't exist, right? So I think, Connor, it'd be very helpful for your community, for everybody, for parents, to know what these groups are. And I think if you set up a conversation with BX Bullet about that, and I think it'd be very informative to everybody in your community. Just ask her about what she's experienced. What she's seen.
It's completely bullshit, because like I can agree with you that these groups are like complete like pieces of shit, right? And that these people should be taken down by whatever relevant government authorities exist in order to take down these sort of groups. Like I'm never going to disagree with you with that. But as you are the face of the politics Discord server, so when you go out of your way to antagonize these people intentionally,
go out of their way,
and you are allowing minors to exist in your community.
Hold on, when you say go out of my way, what do you mean?
That you're putting these minors at risk by conducting.
What do you mean by go out of my way to antagonize these people?
What is the jihad, Dooby?
The jihad was a meme user. So we have a meme chat on the server. those users of the meme chat who are upset that we're deleting the Rhino shit GIF. I posted a Rhino shit GIF in the chat for you. Right? They were upset about they felt like we were moderating memes too heavily, and they wanted to stop moderating memes.
Oh, and he's fucking gone. Jesus.
All right. Yep. Go ahead. Sorry, Dooby. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry. So this is like one of the arcs in the community is meme chatters who are upset about us moderating memes too heavily for them. That's what that
Okay,
was.
so
It was like a
I
joke.
heard about the jihad and it being related to someone nuking pedophile servers
No, not true.
with CSAM. Do you
No,
know
not
what I'm
true.
talking about?
No, not true.
It's
So
not true. Were you
no,
not involved? Were you not involved in operations to take down these servers?
hold on. I've never. So one.
No, just yes or
No,
no.
listen. You're
Were you
mixing
involved
things
in
up.
operations to
Please stop
take down
talking.
like
No,
Adam Waffen or
yes, but you're
784
mixing
or
things
whatever
up
they're
right
called
now.
servers?
You're okay. You're mixing things up right now. So what you're
Okay, do
referring
you
to
think
was
by going
please stop
after these
talking for a second,
servers,
and I can explain it to you.
you-
Please stop talking and I'll explain it to you really quickly because you're mixing a lot of things up right now. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So one, the jihad recording, and I think you got like a clip of it. That's like a 3-hour town hall.
Yeah, I'm aware.
So there was a guy called Neuro who ran some other Discord server, like much smaller server, and there's a user on the server called Anthony or Anthony's with an S.
Yes.
He muted this person, and then I think like the next day or something, his server got raided by people, and they were posting like apparently like child porn or something in the server, and his server got deleted. I had nothing to do with that. He blamed it on Anthony, though he has no evidence for this. And then because Anthony is from politics, Neuro said, okay, well, obviously this was like a Dooby scheme to take down my server because he's afraid of the competition. Totally ridiculous. I spoke to Neuro after that. He agreed that it was ridiculous for him to say this, and Neuro's going to say this other than he thought it was Anthony, though he also has no evidence for this. And yeah, that's nothing to fucking do with me. That is also not related to Adam Waffen or 764 or any of these groups at all.
Okay,
So
so you
yeah,
just
it's
clarify.
totally unrelated.
Once again, you do admit that you conducted operations to take down Adam Waffen and 764.
I've reported them. Yes.
But no, that's not what I'm talking about. By
Then be clear about
operations,
what
I
you're
mean
talking
like
about.
you are infiltrating their servers with the goal of like unmasking these people, either to like report them to
Doxing.
the
No,
FBI
don't say unmasking.
or
Say
to
doxing.
dox them. Yeah, sure, dox
Yes.
them, unmask them.
So
whatever.
early on,
Like-
I can tell you. Okay, I know you guys are like sleepy. So I can tell you. So early on, around 2017, one of these groups started attacking us and trying to dox my team, trying to extort people on the server. I did. LARP as one of them because they were sending like DMs threatening to murder me, threatening to murder my family. They were trying to dox me for a long time. And I, in response to that, and I couldn't figure out how to deal with these fucking guys. First time I ever dealt with them, we'd ban them. They would, of course, come right back. Ban them again, they come right back. And they'd already doxed like 5 mods, right? They're trying to get the server deleted because their plan, according to them, was to take down all the larger servers so that people would be funneled into smaller servers and they could target more easily. So what I did eventually is I decided, okay, I'm just going to pretend that I'm one of them, right? So I started responding to them with a kind of like a schizo shit they'd send me, right? And there's this book called Iron Gates, right, that they like. And one day I sent the guy a picture of it, like on my table. I showed him that I had it. And I was LARPing as one of them. Eventually, this got them to trust me, and they let me into their group, and they thought that I was one of them. I did this so that I could gather all the information I could about these people, because what they were doing was very fucking illegal. And then from there, I found out they were involved in a lot more other crazy shit, trying to get people to kill themselves, trying to get transfer to kill themselves, trying to get kids to kill themselves. They would post fucking pictures they had, and they were like brag about getting little girls to cut into their thighs so deeply that the fucking fat was showing. It's disgusting, evil people, right? So I gathered all the information I could about them, and I reported them to the fucking police. Yes, I did that.
Do you think that? Okay, do they know that you did this?
Yeah, they do.
Have you bragged about this?
I wouldn't say I bragged about it. I've spoken about it.
Okay. Do you think by doing this and then talking about it afterward in we'll say a positive light of like, oh, this is what I did, praise me or whatever. Maybe I don't agree with this framing, but
Praise me.
It's essentially what you did.
That's ridiculous.
Do you think that you are drawing the attention of these groups to target your server more?
Yeah,
No.
I'm just gonna
No.
pipe in real quick. I think this argumentation is fucking gay, and the reason why it's gay is because it's like you I don't think I would go as far as Dooby so as to like infiltrate the group and all that kind of shit. Like I think that's probably too far for me personally. But also like what's the moral? Assuming that all of this is true, what's the charge here? Like,
if
you
out of
saw
your way to
bad people
infiltrate
on
and
the internet,
antagonize
you took
pedophiles
action
who
against
are
them, and now
extorting
because you're the
minors.
leader of an institution, you're putting people who participate in your institution at risk?
I can supplement this with Dooby's previous statements he said earlier. He said that he would allow multiple retries of TOS violations.
I don't care if
From
anybody's part of this group.
I don't know
if this has anything to do with
staff.
the fucking... What
Well,
does
hold
this
on.
have to do
Let me
with
connect it. Let me connect it. Dooby said that he's fine with having his admin staff be connected to peripheral servers that have been taken down for TOS violations. Now, I recognize that Dooby is saying that the TOS violations are kind of stupid and they're kind of like way too harsh and like you can't even say the tiniest little nothing without getting in trouble. I respect that. But I'd also argue that some of the reasons that they talked about in those documents, those screenshots that Dooby doesn't dispute are real, say that the reason the Discord was taken down was too many Nazi, too many N-word memes. Now, I would ask Dooby, is there a correlation between Nazi memes and the hate groups that you've been talking about?
Yes, but they're entirely different animals.
How do you know that they are separate in peripheral discourse? How are you aware of their involvement?
Let me explain to you.
Connor,
Oh my God! Please let me explain this to you.
Connor asked me something. I want to kind of respond.
No, let me just explain really quick. I want to be very
well,
clear.
actually, sorry, I do feel like, generally speaking, I respect North's opinion, but I do not understand like.
No.
I do not
explain
understand
to you
his
pretty quickly.
anger.
Like, if you're in charge, okay, so imagine you're like in charge of a middle school, right? Do you think someone who's in charge of a middle school should go out of their way to like target or take down like pedophile hunting groups?
Let's say that you're a principal of a middle school and you
that.
find out that a pedophile is hunting your school. Yeah, you would absolutely get involved.
I think by engaging with these people in such a hostile manner, you're and especially when you're in charge of that, and you're like not the police, you are indeed like you're just asking for trouble. It's not the responsibility of the principal of a middle school to go hunt pedophile groups, and I think it'll just cause the pedophile groups to target like the.
I think you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't think you don't know anything.
And by the way, I'm just gonna tell you, I don't find this argument compelling, and I don't know if I care enough to litigate it. So Dooby. Okay, so just to be clear, summarizing the night so far, Dooby's a bad guy because he stands by the fact that he's running a mixed-aged server. He's a bad guy because there have been issues in the past where the moderation didn't catch some bad shit that happened. Some of his fucking... They've let in too many fucking edgy people, and these edgy people did bad shit. Then, Dooby's also a bad guy because he went after aggressive and violent groups on the internet that exposes risk to his Discord server. Like if I was actually to summarize the criticisms of Dooby so far tonight, that's what I've heard. So,
and to be clear, if anybody's part of this, so Connor, I sent you. We shouldn't say so. Connor, I sent you screenshots like a couple weeks ago about somebody that I said, hey, I was worried about this kid for this reason, yada yada. So, the reason I was worried about that kid is because the profile picture that kid was using was related to these groups, right?
The red and black fucking thing, yeah.
Yeah, they have a very specific type of like aesthetic, right? So typically, if we see this, we detain the person. We don't want this kind of shit on the server. If we find that anybody's even tangentially related to those groups, they're banned permanently. We don't want them on. Like I said, these are evil groups. I consider them to be fucking monsters. So yeah, they don't get second chances. If we find out they're doing this anywhere else, they're banned forever.
Yeah, so like, if you guys want to stand by, if Fell and North want to stand by these arguments, I mean, they're fine. But and I'm sorry, Fell, that I keep evaluating like your argumentation in line with like what's in chat. But just as an example, like Razzle Smasher is like, Connor to Dooby's rescue again. And it's like, rescue from
No,
what? I just re-articulated the
appreciate
argumentation that I've heard fucking tonight. Razzle, you fucking loser. I unbanned you because you used to not be so fucking gay. But like, what's your criticism of Dooby, Razzle Smasher? Is it that he's a fucking pedophile? Like, what is it?
Are we waiting for Razzle?
No, you guys talk.
I can add Razzle to this thing right now if you want me to.
So,
Oh, fuck
again,
Razzle.
I maintain that the problem I have in particular with Dooby and the Discord, and I appreciate Dooby you pointing out that the way I have been talking about it and framing it is amateur hour and like you're just over there doing it. Like, no, my eyes have been opened hanging out in your Discord. It's a huge, sophisticated operation. I see it. I see the function. It's there. You guys are professionals. You guys are doing a job over there. And I think it highlights even more the issue when you are taking on a community that hosts minors. This has to be the correct framing to all criticisms when we talk about this Discord. It is in the context of 13-year-olds to 17-year-olds and what is going on with those users and whether or not Dooby prioritizes the initial harm to those users or not. And when I say initial harm, what I mean by that is we try to shield our children from the things that might hurt them. We try not to let them watch the movies that corrupt them. We try not to let them see the people with their penises hanging out at the public park. We don't want our kids to see this stuff for a particular reason, right? And that's why the TOS is like 13 and under. No fucking way could they be involved in this server or anything like it. It's just too much adult. The arguments that I'm hearing are rhetorical about how 13 to 17 should be able to participate in adult behavior with reason and with supervision. And I think those are reasonable arguments. And what I am saying is I don't see the evidence that Dooby's server prioritizes that and prioritizes preventing the initial harm. The initial harm would be, I show my penis to you and you see my penis. You have been harmed. How do you prevent that initial
Impossible.
harm?
Literally
Impossible.
I mean, I guess,
Maybe I wanted to
guess
see
it's
your
possible if
penis,
we just like
pal.
remove all the image perms from
You
everybody.
could.
Anybody can post a dick in the chat at any time.
You could enact a culture that doesn't do that on the regular.
Hold on.
No,
we don't
hold
allow,
on.
we
No,
don't
no,
allow
no,
people to do
this
something
is-
like that. That's just not true.
Look,
We don't allow that.
It's not just like a culture. It's like if you are going to have kids in your server, that comes with a certain amount of like responsibility. And if
Yeah,
you
no
aren't
shit.
willing to like take that responsibility of like
Well,
active,
Hold on. If
substantive
this is
moderation.
the real food shops in my chat, real quick, I just want to point out that not only have you talked about masturbating to cartoon children, you also sexted a minor. How do you have
It
the
was tagged as
fucking
minor my server, by the way.
how do you have the stones to make any kind of commentary on this whatsoever after you yourself were sexting a minor? What the fuck? You're literally a fucking pedophile. Like that's the other thing. Okay, so I understand that you guys like you have your criticisms of Dooby, but this whole thing is happening in the backdrop of DGG and food shops sweeping for Destiny. Food shops
I
is
resent
she's
that.
literally
I'm not
attracted.
here to comment about that stuff.
She's
Like I
literally
want to focus on the
attracted
one
to
thing,
children.
and somehow I have to
Sorry,
litigate
And
other
she was
things.
caught sexting a child. And DGG has the fucking balls to come in here and throw fucking elbows. What the fuck?
Tell the
not
shield to
I'm
kick
not
him
here
out.
to
Kick
defend
him
Food
out.
Shops. Food Shops is a complete and utter retard and has does. some
No,
very wild
she's
shit
not a
that I will not
retard.
defend.
She's a pedophile.
Kick him
Well,
out. Just get him out. We don't need to deal with it.
Okay. Well, anyway,
Let's
I'm
focus
still
on the conversation.
Yeah, but
still
I'm not
shooting
here to
people in the
litigate Food
face.
Shops.
So,
and
so
nor
hold
do
on,
I
hold
think
on.
that the context of Food
It's
Shops
1:38.
affects my
I'm
criticisms
finishing
of
up
Dooby.
my video game level, and then to be honest, I'm probably wrapping it. So what are the remaining points that you guys wanna make?
I feel satisfied. I only wanted to talk to Dewey about his Discord server, his personal position on pedophilia, and his history of running that Discord server, and that's it. I'm not looking to litigate everything I hate about Dewey, and there's a lot, but it's not relevant to tonight.
Yeah, I think that Dooby is very dangerous when it comes to his more laissez-faire moderation. I think allowing minors at the same time of you conducting operations against groups that are known to do like blackmailing attempts and like sexting of minors and all that,
Oh, it's so
I
stupid.
think is also like
It's
a
such a
pretty
stupid
dangerous
point,
conflation. I think that Dooby is I think he is very slimy in the way that he communicates, but I don't know if that really can be litigated against him in this specific conversation. So.
I think you guys don't understand the platform you're on or the dangers that exist on it. And the idea that
No,
you
I think I do
that
understand the
that
platform.
me responding in an aggressive way to people that are trying to sextort people on the server and trying to groom minors on the server, you think that actually causes more of it is so stupid.
I think you have a responsibility
it's
if
so
you're going to
ridiculous.
allow
It's
minors
so
in your
ridiculous.
community.
It's just,
If
to
you're
me,
going
what
to go out of your
screams
way to
is you don't
antagonize
know
groups who are
anything
known to
about the
target
platform that you're on
minors,
at all.
then yeah,
You
I
don't
think
really
that does
understand
reflect
anything
kind of
about the risk.
badly
You
on
don't
you.
understand anything about the issue that we deal with on the server or any another large community that deals with this kind of shit. You just don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
That's not a refutation to my argument.
It is
Dooby.
though, because your argument
No, it
is
isn't.
irrelevant and stupid.
That's a
You're
like
speaking as if
appeal,
oh my
not
God.
appeal to authority. What is it?
You're
It's an appeal to something.
please. I'm appealing to your stupidity and your ignorance, right? So what I'm telling you
Yeah, that's
is
not
that,
an argument.
that you don't that for you to say that my server is a target or this server is a target because I aggressively target these people when they pop up. These people exist all over the platform, and they're far easier communities for them to target that they do target constantly, right? When they come to our server, it's actually more rare now than it used to be because we respond in such an aggressive way. So I know that when we got this, like the initial set of guys that we got arrested in the UK for terroristic threats against the what's her name, the American woman that married Prince Harry or whatever the fuck his name is. I know that they backed off our server for a long time after we did that. So I just don't think you know what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah.
You think
So-
that
Meghan Markle.
these groups target your server because you went after them?
No, they were doing it before. This is why I went after them. This is why I responded the way that I did because nothing else worked. Nothing else worked to get them to stop targeting the community.
Yeah, don't
What
you
did you do
understand tit
before?
for tat? Tit for tat, guys.
And I understand this puts me at risk. Wait one second. I understand this puts me at risk.
What did you do before
I have
to
ban them. You ban them. You report their accounts to Discord. They make a new account. You figure out what server they come from. The Discord deletes that sometimes. They make a new one. It's like eventually you need to go beyond Discord's tools, right? Discord's the tools that Discord gives you to deal with these people. It's very easy to get around Discord bans. So unfortunately, I had to put myself at risk to go after these people. I'm not saying that to be cool. I'm just telling you what the fuck happened, what I thought I had to do.
Wait, hold on. Do you think that there's a difference between? I could even maybe find it acceptable to say that like you got these people arrested. Obviously, I'm not going to agree with you downloading fucking child porn on your computer, but I could say to me like, okay, maybe it's acceptable to go after these people in a hostile manner if they're targeting your Discord server. The problem is that you did so not in a private manner in which no one could like link it back to you that you were the one doing it. Instead, you were tying this to like your identity and thus like bringing to a greater target to yourself.
So I can give you more details, right? So about why things happened the way they did. So initially, what I told them to get them to trust me, well, after I got them to trust me to think that I was part of this group, and that I got them to believe that the server itself was like a toy of mine. The community members were toys, and the goal was to radicalize them over time and to make them accelerationists over time. Right, so I got them to believe this, and I said, okay, well, when the next election comes up, I'm going to delete all the channels on the server, and you guys will come in, and we're gonna just be like fucking propaganda, like only one speaker. We're gonna brainwash these fucking people, and then we're gonna delete the server. Right, we're gonna push them to smaller servers. So that's how I initially got them to leave us the fuck alone. Right, so I had to still deal with these fucking guys. Because in this time I used a time period between me getting them to agree to this, and then the day that they expected this event to happen, to track down as much information as I could with them, and then eventually report them. So yeah, it was linked to the server, of course, but it's because I used that as like a leverage to get them to stop fucking with the server, and use my position. Yeah, they did. Again, you have to understand they were targeting the mod team and users constantly to dox them, sextort them.
Wait, yeah. Was this around the time that you had a minor as a moderator as well?
No, that was a few years later.
That was a few
We used to allow we used to allow minors on the mod team, but we stopped.
Yeah. So at this time, did you have minors?
It was inconvenient. I don't remember. We haven't had many minors on the mod. Well, the event that I'm talking about is in like 2018. So I don't remember at the time.
So
exactly
then,
who was on the mod team.
yes, you had minors.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know what you're not understanding. So we would have allowed minors on the mod team, but throughout the years, there haven't been many minors on the mod team. Right? It's like very specific minors that we'll give mod perms to over the years. Because we want them to be smart, that be like show that they have the ability to engage. They're like kind of, they're not like going to be posting memes and posting shit like that. It's only been a handful of minors over the years where we've allowed to have mod perms, but it was inconvenient because we'd give them mod perms, but they wouldn't have access to the like the image logs or the detain logs because sometimes there's like NSFW shit in there.
Oh, hold on.
So
could you
we
say
did- we
it was
eventually
on
decided to
one
just start
hand you
having
could say
mod.
that's how many minors were mods? Like on one hand.
Probably 2 hands, but yeah, I doubt it was any more than
2
10.
hands. Okay.
Yeah.
So it would be impossible to be able to go one by one and figure out like when they were minors and when they joined the mod team. I'm assuming.
No, it wouldn't be. But I
Was
know
it
what you're
just
talking
that
about,
one
you're talking
minor
about
that
Ellie.
one time at that party?
No,
with her
the
brother
one
or
minor
her
you're talking
sister
about
and
was
her
like the
dad?
last minor, I think. The woman.
Yeah, you're talking
Were there
about
no
Ellie.
other minors that went out to?
She's in the water.
Did you guys have any other in-person meetups with other minors?
Okay, so to be clear, the context of this is for Connor.
And that's fine. The context is they were
yeah,
at a
let me-
party and it was just
no,
the
let me-
dad
I
and the
don't
sister,
Dude,
and they were
you
only
don't
at
even
the
need
party.
to tell
I
me
mean,
the
at
context
at
because
the
I don't
restaurant.
give a shit. Literally, like, what I mean by that is like, so when we say minor, like we have a 16-year-old who is given power over a server to ban and suspend people.
No,
Meanwhile,
it's not just that.
so
They
hold
have
on.
full access
Meanwhile,
to-
I understand
Talking
you
about-
guys are saying it's distracting from the conversation, but meanwhile, Destiny's fucking #1 sweeper, who
Why are we talking about
sexted
Destiny?
a
Like, who gives a
minor
shit?
and is
Why-
a
yeah, why is this
pedophile,
relevant?
is accepted in the space. Like,
Why
what
is
the
this
fuck
relevant?
are
I
we
don't
doing
accept. I don't
here?
accept any of this behavior. I'm the prude. I'm the old like boomer who's upset about this behavior.
Don't be
Oh,
dishonest.
a
You don't have a
16-year-old.
DGG. You don't have a DGG quarantine channel. You have a Snark quarantine channel. Right? You allow DGGers to come on, shit talk, and hang out, whatever. So don't pretend that it's just the DGG. It's just a Snarker, so you're opposed to
No,
whatever.
I'm just saying I don't see how it's relevant to my criticisms about your server
No,
and how it's
you're
administered.
Yeah, it's not
you're
relevant.
allowed to criticize Dooby. I just what I'm frustrated by, and I'll say it again in your defense, is just like everybody's acting. The accusations are not, Dooby improperly mods his politics server. That's
that's
not
my
the
accusation.
criticism on
Okay.
Twitter. That's not the criticism in my chat. The criticism on Twitter and the criticism in chat is that Dooby is secretly hoarding child porn material for his own gratification.
That's
And
just
that's
internet
not what I've
banter,
heard
isn't it?
tonight.
Isn't that just internet banter?
No, it's
Kinda one
not
of the
internet
dishonest
banter.
criticisms-
They're actually trying to sully and sweep for food shops and for Destiny right now because Dooby is a vociferous critic of Destiny and unapologetically so. So they're smearing him. That way it's one less person that you have to take seriously who's criticizing Destiny. Obviously.
So when Dooby calls me a pedophile, it is a smear against me, and it's not just him
Absolutely.
doing
Yes.
internet banter.
Yes, I was. Hold on. To be
I think
clear,
it
I
was
thought
smearing
I
you.
think I was pretty clearly a joke when I said this, right? You said you were going to go do water.
You
play with
were
your kids.
joking, or you were
Hold
slandering?
on.
I'm confused
I don't
now.
think you're a pedophile. I don't think you're going to go piss on your kids.
Oh, okay,
So when you said
okay.
you're
Oh
going to do
yeah,
water
hold
play
on,
with the
Connor.
kids,
If you
please stop talking.
Connor,
let me respond. Let me respond really quickly.
I
Stop,
want to hear
please.
what Dooby says before I
No.
hear North.
So
Go
Phil or Valor, whatever you want to call it. So when you said you're going to go do water play with your kids, I thought water play, water sports is very like well-known slang for like piss kink shit. So
Listen,
that
I don't
came
need
out
to
of-
explain. Listen,
So,
I don't need to
hold
explain.
on, so that came a lot
Listen,
to for me. So I
my
made the joke,
opinion
yes.
of when you said
Hold on,
that
really
to me
quickly.
was,
Oh,
I'm
God, let
shocked
me-
that you would lower yourself to the
Lower
point where you would
myself?
easily get banned from attacking a mod with the most base. This is my point about you, dude.
This
Is
is
you
me-
are
hold on, Val, this is
unable
just being
to rise
sensitive.
above the most base level
You allow people to say
internet
that my kids should
bullshit
be raped.
attitudes.
Hold on, and
You
hold
are-
on, and I'm banned for making a joke about your kids. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You know
Just 'cause
what?
you're a
Ask
sensitive
Connor.
bitch, you
Connor's
can't-
the
you can't
leader
take
of the
even
community.
10%
He's
of the
the
shit he
owner of
allows
the
to be thrown at other
Discord. Ask
people.
Connor if he
Oh,
wants
God.
to ban Keep Your Bill
Irrelevant.
streams or
Hold on,
whoever said that
irrelevant.
to you. Talk
Irrelevant.
to him about it.
I don't want to ban.
Why is that
I don't
irrelevant?
want
You
to
just
ban
used
at
it against me in this
all.
whole
Because
example.
you're implying that I should have known that this would get me banned because it's so far against the rules. But you allow
No,
people
my point is that you are unable to rise above your most base level of 4chan level dialect.
So the real issue
You couldn't help yourself but call me a pedophile the second you had an in to do it, because you're not capable of rising above that. That's the kind of person. When I say you're a cool guy, I don't mean that you're a cool guy because you help fight bad guys on your server. I'm saying you're a cool guy because you say weird, cool things,
is that you're just
thinking it's
sensitive,
cool, and it's
because you're
just
sensitive,
cringe.
you use your mod perms to ban people that you dislike. That's what it is. Like, don't
Sure,
be a bitch.
I dislike people that I ban people that dislike. Sure, that's the accusation. That's
okay.
fine. Connor can demod me if that's what your goal. My only point is that you are not able to rise above to a better person. Like you cannot act like you are a high-minded person who runs a politics Discord that's safe for everybody. It's not.
This is so stupid. You're such an idiot right now. So to be clear, Connor, the 16.
I mean, you can only attack me with pejoratives. I don't know why you can't argue me on the substance.
I truly do not what is going on. I don't know what's happened for the past 45 seconds. I think that we should. I think that since we aired out our grievances tonight, I think we should agree, relatively speaking, that calling each other pedophiles baselessly should probably be outside of the way that we interact with each other, even if we don't like each other.
I agree.
So
Dooby,
Fel, you might have come in a little hot as a mod. Dooby might have come in a little hot as a chatter. And y'all both, maybe Dooby said more spicy shit than you. I don't fucking know. But at the same time, I think from a rules of engagement standpoint, we can say, hey, this is bad. Let's not do that.
I agree.
Okay,
I only judge you.
I feel like I need to clarify this because this is one of the dishonest attacks that's been used against me, Mr. Connor, by DGGers, and people within your community. So the 16-year-old thing at a mod meetup. So the allegation is that I met up with a 16-year-old at some mod meetup, right, like a few years ago. Not true. So what actually happened is we have a lot of mods on the server. There's some of them that were in and around Florida. They wanted to meet up for like a weekend, go fishing or some shit. So they met up. One of the mods who was in the area was a 16-year-old girl who was on the mod team for, I think, like a year at that point. And she went with her father and I think her older sister or her older brother to this pizza restaurant they were at. They hung out there, and then she went home with her parent and her sibling. She didn't go to the Airbnb afterwards. She didn't hang out with them. She went to the fucking pizza restaurant with her family and then left. I think it's totally fine. And to be clear, I wasn't even there, to be clear. But I think it's totally fine for her to show up with her parent. Totally appropriate. I really don't understand why you guys have an issue with that.
Well, I would argue that the preceding meetup and the events that happened then is what would lead me to be concerned with, once again, minors being involved in your server.
Hold on, what preceding meetup?
I think
you said that the preceding, when I say preceding, I meant the following. I'm tired.
Yes, yeah. The following one is the one where someone was allegedly raped when they went to this.
So they did this again the next year. I think the same group of people that the girl wasn't on the mod team at that point. I think she left the server for a bit to focus on school. So she didn't go that year, but the same group of guys did. Same my friend group did. And one of the girls that went was also on the mod team. She was one of the guys' girlfriend. And the allegation is there was a rape. I don't know. I think, honestly, if I had to tell you the truth, I think they hooked up while drunk and then regretted it afterwards. The guy regretted it afterwards, to be clear.
Can you tie that into my concern about a 16-year-old going to a meetup with you guys?
Hold on. So you guys, again, I wasn't there, to be clear.
You guys, whatever, your Discord.
Please stop. The next year, this was the next year, the 16-year-old wasn't there. No other minors were there. This was a bunch of adults who wanted to meet up from a Discord server, and a couple of them hooked up, and I think the guy later regretted it because that girl was somebody else's girlfriend, another one of the guys that was there. And I think he said, "Oh well, he was drunk and he didn't know, blah blah." But if I had to tell you honestly, I would think it's like a regretful fuck, basically. But again, this is adults that met up.
My point.
I don't know how this is. I don't know how this is.
Is there a red flag? Is this red flag behavior? Does it set up red flags?
With minors at all.
Is this something you should be concerned about as the leader of a very large community? Okay, thank you. That's all I'm just trying to get your stance on things.
I think if adults want to meet up and hook up or whatever, then regret it afterwards. That's their business.
Okay, so are we gonna talk about the CSAM allegations? I think Connor wanted to address that a little bit.
Oh, I don't care about any of that.
I think I want to go to fucking. I think I want to go to bed.
Yeah. We can move on.
We can schedule an
You want to go
event.
to bed? Oh boy.
So Dooby was saying that I don't know how much more time he has, but he's saying that he would hang out in Discord. So Razzle Smasher, you fucking pussy. If you feel like anything was swept for tonight, then feel free to go talk to Dooby your fucking self, you fucking loser.
I think Razzle might be banned out of the Discord as well.
Well, then talk to. Good thing our head mod is awake right
now. All right. I'll go look.
Talk to our head mod, unban fucking Razzle, and if Razzle's got something to say, he can come say it.
You got it.
But I think I'm tapped. So 11 p.m. to 2 a.m.
That's pretty good. That was a good one.
So I don't know, Fel. Do you feel like you at least got some like verbal catharsis that you at least got to?
Yeah, I feel great. I am very happy that we got some solid answers from Dooby. I think it clarifies things on his end. I think it should even help stop people from weirdly calling him a pedophile out of turn. Like, I think this is good for everybody. Good job, everybody.
Okay. All right. Then North, do you have any notes before I dip out?
Yeah, I think he's completely irresponsible to the point of culpability. That's okay. Much it.
I think you're an E character.
I'm with North.
All right. Then Dooby, you got any notes before I dip out?
No, I mean, we can do another round if you guys want to go through more. Maybe next week or whatever. Maybe the weekend after. I don't really give a fuck whenever after.
Okay.
I was surprised I got through all my questions.
I'm willing to continue this in VC. So.
Well, yeah, if there's community members who feel like Dooby, you want to have another AMA of Dooby and his morality in reference to his conduct online, and Dooby's down to do it, then I'm down to host. But I will say that I will conduct myself similarly to tonight, where unless there's something like really specific that demands my attention, the only time that I'm going to interrupt is for the sake of flow, to make sure that we're not just fucking screaming at each other. But
sure. And Connor, I don't want you to feel like we're like pleading to you and appealing to you and trying to get you to do things. If I was going to appeal to you to do anything about Dooby, it would just to state very clearly that Dooby is not an original member of the COG, and that's it.
Okay. Hold on, I've been in Connor. I've known Connor since before he had a COG.
You can know Connor. I didn't say
I'm an original fan of Connor.
Dooby, but I
didn't say you can't be a fan of Connor.
I'm a pre-COG Connor fan.
I think you're anti-American imperialism mixed with never mind. I don't want to litigate.
I think your ideology is bad for the planet, but I still love you. It's okay.
Sounds like Connor.
Yes. So anyways,
hold on.
I'm gonna hang up with y'all. I'm gonna go thank everybody who super chatted and read their super chats. I'm gonna interact with chat for 5 minutes and then I'm going to bed. So I'll see you guys soon.
Can I get permission to record in the Discord server as we're talking to VC?
Yes, you can send it to your Frank Food Shops afterwards.
Wait, don't kick me out because I want to listen to the super chats and I won't speak. I will be on mute.
Oh. What, you just want me to do the super chats in this chat real quick? Why don't you just
I mean, if I have to be kicked out, kick me out.
No, just go to the YouTube live. I'm gonna leave.
All right, bye.
Bye. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Oh man. All right. I was hoping for something a little bit more meaty, but as long as Fellrunner got some shit out of his system and feels like he sufficiently confronted Dooby to his face, so we can establish some kind of community homeostasis, I'll be a happy guy. Buzzraka, thank you for the gifted. Grassroots of the 5. Nuking 12,000 people from the server one night is a preemptive strike. How Israeli of you, Dooby? True, based. Grassroots says, I want substantial KPIs, Dooby. I want literal scalps and necklaces made of teeth. Thank you for the other one. Airborne with the membership. Let it be known that I did not quit in a huff, but simply had to lock in at work because we all have KPIs. No problem, King. No problem. Members of the COG are free to come and go as they please. Oh my god, I am dying. False Earth Materialist for 5 says, for the next Crunchwrap Supreme, woo, no minors, fuck the Rust Belt, woo, love the Cut G. Thank you. Thank you, False Earth. Sorry I didn't read this earlier. Airborne with the 5, how would you know it's less well-moderated frog? Grassu says, North is sending me logs of your mod team running defense for a dude who literally pulled his wiener out on camera in VC. Mrau for $5 says, you are my sunshine. Thank you, Mrau. Appreciate you. Horse God, thank you for the membership. Fashion 40, thank you for the 5. Chip for Fell. Fashion 40 says, your haircut looks like trash. For $2. Hey, man. At least I'm 40 and I still have a fucking hairline. I can grow my shit out. Fucking, this will come right the fuck back out. Not every streamer can say that. This is hair. This will come back. Not everybody can say that in this space. Tag Out for 2 says, Dooby's new nickname is Brian Cassidy from SVU. I don't understand the reference, and I feel like it's mean or rude, but that's okay. I am tired. Anyways. Elliot says, get some rest. I will. Precog, goddammit, says B for Brian too. I think it was a chore overdose. True. Real jarhead look right now. True. There's no meat there. It's just getting statements on the record. Fair enough. Connor will be awake for 3 more hours. Lol. No, I'm going to bed. Do you want any evidence in regards to food shops, or do you not care? I do care, Morale. I watched your coverage. I watched Queeman's coverage of your coverage. I think somebody should do like a little 10 to 20 minute essay documenting like the original Reservoir streams, the statements that they made prior to leaving the internet for a while, the small p pedophile debate with commentary, the dating of the 16 or 17-year-old girl, trans girl, I don't know who it is, but the sexting a 16 or 17-year-old, the becoming Destiny's #1 fucking sweeper, and then lashing out at other creators despite themselves still being a unrepentant lolicon pedophile who sexted a minor. I think like 5 years ago, that would have been enough to fucking nuke you from the space. Unfortunately, it seems like in this era, as long as you keep streaming and you don't get hit on TOS, then you can just keep going. And I think Destiny literally supported a fucking pedophile to be normalized in the space, and I think it's fucking gross. Ninja, I have a hairline too, laugh my fucking ass off. Well, you were talking shit about my hair. I understand not everybody fucking fucks with the bald look. I'm just saying that my hair grows back, that's all. I apparently have jewels, so here you go. Thank you. Anonymous chatter for $2 says, bald and gay. True. Fantasia playing nappy time. Yeah, I'm going to go listen to some fucking soundscapes. Mrouse and A-logger, what? So, Owlish, I feel like you're new. So I'll try to be nice. You know, there's something called the genetic fallacy. And so the genetic fallacy states that because something comes from a bad place, that means that you can't use that information. That's not true. Let's say Adolf Hitler says the sky is blue, and the sky is blue. Then the sky is still blue. If Mrau, a antisocial internet A-logger snarker freak, still says fucking Food Shops is a pedophile, Food Shops is still a pedophile. Because the evidence that he's presenting is not tainted by the source if it remains true. So, like, I don't know how saying, like, don't sweep for a pedo. But yeah, like, why would you sweep for Food Shops just because Mrau's bad? You should evaluate whether or not the information he's providing is accurate. Alishna says, bro. See, that bro is not an argument. Saying bro is not an argument. What does A-logging mean? It just means actively. I don't know definitionally, but it's like documenting something an online person does, like everything an online person does. They wake up, they take a shit, you take a note. They do a stream, you record the stream. They tweet something and it's cringe, you document the cringe tweet, And I think A-logging is primarily, I'm just going to be a boomer here. It's primarily associated with Kiwi Farms, because Kiwi Farms is a drama forum where they post docs information, and they're famous for A-logging lol cows on the internet. So they basically just perpetually document the online misbehavior of people that they hate. So he's right. Don't have to like it, but learn. Yeah. Mrau could be fucking Hitler and still be right about some things, Alishness is a content creator now. Smile. Doesn't matter. Do you mind telling everyone what we talked about in the Discord DMs for my peace of mind? Yeah. So Demon King Drago and I got into a beef on Friday. I think it was Friday. And he said something to the equivalent of, Connor, you're too obsessed with what people do in the privacy of their own homes. But I had already started talking about food shops and the Destiny drama, and he hadn't seen that part yet. So I flipped out on him, presuming that he was sweeping for Destiny and food shops. But the truth is, he hadn't, I guess, hadn't gotten to that part in the VOD. So me freaking the fuck out on him wasn't correlated to his actual opinion. His actual opinion is like, all that shit's gross, all that shit's degenerate, blah, 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 blah. He just thinks that I care too much, in general, I care too much about sexual morality from a conservative perspective. So... Grid says, thanks for the entertainment. I just drove 9 hours back from GunCon. Nice. I hope you had a good time. Mrau is bad. Food shops have done some disgusting, abhorrent shit. Yeah, multiple things can be true at once. Mrau can be an antisocial snarker, whatever, blah, 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 that you guys all describe him as. And food shops can still be a pedophile. I personally think it's okay to refuse to acknowledge information from malignant sources because spite and because incentives, but that's my weird axe to grind. I just wouldn't get in that habit, Airborne Kite. The reason why I wouldn't get in that habit is because when you buy into that tribalist mentality, you will ignore evidence that is inconvenient to your perspective just because it's someone that you hate. And I think that's a really easy way to miss good information. Yeah. Genuinely, I'm not going to lay out all this bullshit in a YouTube chat. Okay. All right. See? Look, Mrau's being social. He's asking you to play video games. He said he wanted to play Destiny 2 with Owlish. Why are you pooping on him so aggressively when... Why are you pooping on him so aggressively when he just wants to play video games with you? Okay. And then I need to send a DM. All right. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm tired. It's Father's Day. I still have my kids. They're passed out in the other room. I need to go to bed so I can wake up at a reasonable time, get some caffeine, and do a little bit of work tomorrow without feeling like I'm dying. I do personally love you guys. Thanks for the people who came out to hang out. Thanks for all the people who donated. Connor, that's bullshit. Mrau doesn't believe that or actually wants to do it. I don't think that's true. I think Mrau's legitimately looking for people to play video games with. I don't know. Check out the streams where he's talking about it. He's like, no, I would play video games. I think Mrau's looking for a fire team. Are they not for a raid, but what's the other one? There's the raids, which are 6 players. Oh, the strikes. I think Morale's looking for a reliable strike team to play with, and everybody keeps saying no because he shit on fucking who is it? God damn it! Why can't I think of it? Come on, I can see your face. I can see your face. Why can't I think of her fucking name? That's how tired I am. God damn it. Whose bird did you shit on? Whose dying bird did you shit on? It was very rude. Come on, Stardust. Nobody said it. Nobody said it yet. I said it before you guys said it. Stardust. It was Stardust. Mrau was making fun of Stardust dying bird, and everybody was like, woo, it's a little spicy. And so now nobody will play Destiny 2. Nobody will play Destiny 2 with fucking Mrau anymore. Because he was too mean. He was too mean to Stardust. So, peace out, Baldy. All right, fair enough. All right, guys. I'll see you Monday, 9:30 a.m. I do wish you well. Have a beautiful